Holding on here for episode 608 of Mike in the Night. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on season 31, episode 11. And I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your camper in the woods, or your log cabin, or your condo in the sky. I'm just trying to think of other places you could be watching this. In the backseat of some car, listening to this on some random data you're borrowing off somebody. Welcome to Mike in the Night. It is 3 a.m. and something is moving you. And I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Please share this wherever you can, or wherever you can on social media. If you like Mike in the Night and you think Mike in the Night's a good thing and it's helping you sleep better at night, talking things through, share us. Get us out there. And I got my old man. My old man left me his glasses before he passed away. So I decided I wanted to wear them today. So I wanted to wear them for today's show for a bit here. I'll put them on when I wrap up the show tonight. And I want to thank E608. I don't know if you guys know who E608 is. But E608 sent me this thing here. It's a dog tag. But it's got a Portuguese Portuguese emblem on it, and I could engrave it on the back. So that was E608. Hawk in Portuguese is a hawk, right? So anyways, E608, thank you very much for sending me that. And we got, everyone's just tuning in right now. It's Saturday night here. It is 6 p.m. local time. You are tuned into Mike in the Night, episode 608. All right, let's rock and roll it here tonight. Let's go into, you know what? I'm going to just jump in today's show's monologue, and then we're going to do a channel plug. Now, I want to bring this up because I think it's very important. I'm putting down the hammer. Boom. As of right now, an honest person in the private sector, someone that works in the private sector, has their own business, or they're working the corporate ladder, trying to make ends meet. An honest person right now can't make enough money to live in Canada anymore. You just can't make enough money. Competing with money laundering from China, competing with bidding wars, competing with all kinds of, competing with the banking system that won't lend to locals. Now, it's not just Canada. It's Australia, New Zealand, the UK, the blue states of America are all, if you are an honest, hardworking person, it's hard to make a living. It's hard to survive. And we've been calling it, I don't know, for over 10, 15 years now, the working poor. But now it's in full effect. It's almost impossible to honestly make it through life now without cheating someone, robbing someone. A lot of people cheat people on a regular basis and think they're doing it for the better of themselves. And hurting somebody else is the way to get ahead. And I'm very against that mentality or way of thought or train of thought. I'm so way against it. And people are accusing me of hating. You hate Chinese people, Mike. I don't hate nobody. I'm calling out what the problem is. Now they're estimating $2.4 trillion laundered from China into Canada from 2010 to 2025. Oh, but it's your government. Our government is China. You do deals with these people. You become those people. I'm really disappointed and so bitter of what Canada was. When I was growing up as a kid in Toronto, we were Canada's problem. We were called out as Canada's problem. We were made an example of as Canada's problem. I'm Portuguese. And from the early 80s all the way until like 2009, we had to lie on our resumes so people wouldn't find out we're Portuguese because they wouldn't hire us. We were treated like absolute trash. People would flog me if on a resume if I put down Canadian. They're like, "You're not Canadian." It's like, what the hell is going on? So we were, quite frankly, Canada's problem. We came to build the damn country. 400,000 plus laborers came in the late 70s up until 2000 came to build the country. We were deported and treated like trash. The OPP police, teachers at school, everything treated like absolute trash. But that's fine because it's Canada and they're protecting the Canadian way. They don't want trash like me to come and take their stuff away. And I can't blame them for that. But now bringing in money laundering and giving all the jobs to Chinese nationals and Hindus and people that didn't play any part to build this country whatsoever. But now I'm hating on Chinese now. I'm just pointing out the problem. You could go ahead and call me a racist all you want because I can't handle seeing my children that are born and raised in Canada become homeless and have to resort to MAID and assisted suicide because the criminal's bringing in laundered money, which if I brought in laundered money, I'd be in jail and I'd be on the front page of every magazine and newsstand across Canada. But because they could do it, they're foreign investors. So who do you blame? Do you blame the Chinese for bringing illicit, illegal funds? And if China is so good, why don't they keep that money in China? If China is a modern economy, a modern capitalism, it's the best. Why is there capital flight of trillions of dollars leaving China and parking it in real estate and farms of English-speaking countries? Well, it's a takeover, Mike. Sure, it's a takeover. It's an economic takeover. You call me a racist, you call me whatever you want. But if I was the problem, if I was Canada's problem for so many years, and I'm pointing the finger saying, no, this is Canada's problem, and you want to call me a racist for that, you go ahead. Because I'll shout it from the rooftops, because seeing my kids go homeless, educated, and the whole 9 years and become homeless in this country, because they have to compete with criminals in bidding wars on a house that's worth $90,000 in Alabama, and they're selling it here for $4 million. You got problems. Major problems. But don't worry, they're going to offer our kids and grandkids assisted suicide. They're already offering it to homeless people and people in debt. You in debt? Well, go kill yourself. Go kill yourself and do yourself a favor. And I'm so against that so much. And when people use the race card, I think you forgot something. My wife's Asian. My wife is Asian. I think you're forgetting that. So I wanted to share this with you guys tonight because I am so infuriated of how far gone Canada has come. I was Canada's problem for a year. Portuguese were Canada's problem. Big problem for Portuguese. Big problem. Deport them all. Deport them all. They deported scores of us. What Trump is doing now with ICE, the news in America said the last time that they held children back was when the Nazis held back the children, the Jewish children in the war, during the war. Nah, the last time it was done was in Toronto, Archbishop Romero Catholic Secondary School in St. Mary's, where they held back all the Portuguese kids and waited for parents to bring in paperwork to make sure they're allowed to be in Canada. Vehicle road blitzes, not Donald Trump, Canada. Pulling over vehicles. Are you Portuguese? Can you be in Canada? So we were Canada's problem. No problem. I have no problem with that. But the problem I have now, we have a problem in Canada, but we're not allowed to address it. The Chinese destroyed this country, Australia, New Zealand, and the blue states of America. Prove me wrong. Oh, and don't say the governments did it. The governments are Chinese too. So before you go there, that's it. I have no hate for anybody. I'm just absolutely disgusted how we sold out to the highest bidder, and we are absolutely destroyed. Same here, Mike. It all pisses me off, too. It's very clear that the devil is running the shit. Yep. Thank you, Dallas Winston. Hey, Pamela. Good to see you. And Steve Slatt saying, my girlfriend is, too. I have no problem with Chinese, Filipino, Korean. I have no problem. I love the culture. I love the whole shrouded in mystery Asia, like going there and seeing things. It's just, this is so beyond destructive mode. that I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm just gonna my middle name change. I'm gonna add another name, Mike Racist Martins. That's it, Mike Racist Martins. Because that's where we're at now. That's where we're living now. All right, let's go into headlines. Okay, remember when I was banging my head on the wall since pretty much 2020 all the way till 2024, figuring out why are all these social media influencers coming out of nowhere and moving right to the top? Non-existent people. Non-existent. You have Rumble heroes. You have your YouTube influencers. You have your Twitter stars. You have all these people come on social media that didn't exist pre-2020. A majority of them didn't exist. Or they were doing hang gliding videos or farming videos. And then after 2020, started changing their tune. They all became political. They all are telling you what you already know, what we already told you on here. They're telling you what we told you, but we can't say it because they ban us. And we call this little thing controlled information distribution. Now, watch this in headlines today. Bono threatens Trump, bring back U.S. aid or there will be trouble. U.S. aid is controlled information distribution. I've been trying to figure out for years, banging my head on the wall. Why are these people that nobody knows all of a sudden becoming celebrities? And we were telling you guys this years ago. Now it's U.S. aid. Now Bono wants U.S. aid to come back because these influencers are dropping off because they're not getting paid anymore. Now, Canadian numbers, you don't have to believe me when I say this. 7,001 Canadian influencers, 7,001 are receiving U.S. aid in Canada. Mexicans are receiving it and it's all political. You follow the politics. You follow the narratives that they give you. And there he is, Bono, U2 frontman and left-wing philanthropist. Oh, philanthropist. Isn't that code for eugenics or something? Bono threatened President Donald Trump during an appearance at Jimmy Kimmel Live. Oh, wow. Oh, threatened him with an appearance.
Who is this bimbo?
And anonymously declaring there will be trouble if U.S. aid is not reinstated.
Is the taxi cab coming?
So you can't make this stuff. It's so they want to pay people to tell you what you already know, so that it comes out at the right time. Controlled information distribution. And let's go. Bono, grateful. Es agradecible. Muy agradecible. Muy grateful that Canada elected Mark Carney. The world is in awe of you. Elected Mark Carney.
I have a problem.
I would like a limo. 8 o'clock.
Grateful Canada elected. So Bono is becoming Elon Musk 2.0. It's kind of strange how they jump on different band and then they go conservative and they go back, follow the money, then go back and follow the money, then go back. You can't trust any of these people. It's like Zuckerberg was a Democrat forever. Forever was a Democrat. And then the money, everything's pivot changed to Republican, and then he jumped over. Oh, it's the fact checkers. I didn't censor nobody. And then he went on the Joe Rogan show. He went on Joe Rogan. He went to there to tell everybody. It's all bullshit. Everything is bullshit. Woo! Rip Torn says, no one believes you when you suggest these people are chosen. It's Joe Rogan! He's the most important guy that ever lived! All right, I'm done with my monologue. I'm done with that. Let's do a quick channel plug. We got more than 5 people watching this thing live. Guys, don't forget to join us here on Odyssey every Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific time for Mike in the Night. Mike in the Night. All right, let's go into... Where is this? Where did I plug this thing here? Oh, here it is. You gotta survive, cause you just got enough to hold on. I'm gonna play that song again if I have to. Okay, guys, this a lot of effort and time gets put into making this show. And if you guys want to buy me a coffee, there is a link in the description of this show. If you're watching this on Odyssey, there's a link in the description if you want to support me. There it is right there. Buy your little guy Mike a coffee. I really appreciate it. I don't have we get nothing for this, so I'm doing this because I love you guys. Let's just put it that way. I love you guys a lot. So this is why it's being done. Buy me a coffee. Buy me un café. And then we go to KiwiRadio.nz. Don't forget to check out Ralphie over at KiwiRadio.nz. Ralphie is a superhero. Don't forget to check out what he's got going on there. He even has Mike Martin's plugged here. What a beautiful man this guy is. Ralphie, I love you, buddy. I love you so much, buddy. Thank you for everything. And he's putting up the episodes right here. 606, 607 on MP3 format. Look at that, for free. Don't forget to donate to him, too, and support the cause in getting the word. And he even has suitable for mature audiences 16 or over, Mike Martins. Ralphie, I love you, man. Thank you so much. And I'm on Facebook, too. Thank you, guys, if you want to follow me on Facebook. There it is right there. I do put link here if you want to share this, Mike in the Night there. I put it every week, but it doesn't get out because I put a link to Odyssey. So Facebook doesn't like competition, but these videos get out. But unfortunately, it just doesn't. They don't get out. So if you could do that manually for me, I appreciate it. And MikeInTheNight.org takes you to the archive I'm putting together of Mike in the Night episodes. There's 607 here, 606, 605, 604, 603. They're all here, guys, if you want to watch back episodes and binge watch Mike in the Night. And guys, me and Kevin's working hard helping people with their taxes. There it is right there. I got an image for this, guys. This is pretty cool. Kevin made this for me today. Sell us your corporation. We take all the debt. So if you have any tax problems and you're living in Canada, go to MikeMartinsTax.com. MikeMartinsTax.com. Very simple. It's how it's spelled right there. MikeMartinsTax.com. Go check out this link. Gives me a little bit of a commission if you guys need some tax help. I'm helping in a way where I'm alleviating Canadians with these problems that they have with the tax company. MikeMartinsTax.com. And this is like my first actual true paying sponsor that I've had on the show probably ever. So if you guys can, MikeMartinsTax.com, I would really appreciate. If you have tax problems, go ahead to MikeMartinsTax.com and he'll help you out. This is very appreciative of Kevin to do this. He doesn't have to, but he's doing it. Okay. All right. Good. All right. That's a channel plug for you guys. And let's go over to back to some headlines. We're going to do some headlines here. We're going to do some headline. PDS in the house. What's up, buddy? Thanks for being here tonight. And okay. I think PDS knows because I received a gift here from somebody mailed this to my store. A dog tag with the Portuguese flag on it. This was mailed to me from my buddy Huck Santed. Huck Santed sent me this, and I appreciate that. And I think PDS knows who Huck Santed is, but we grew up with Huck Santed. Anyways, let's get back into headlines here. So we covered that. And going back on our censorship, let's go back on our censorship here. We were heavily covering, I'm back from YouTube in my 20th suspension. Major censorship ahead in the West. CID, new tactics to silence independent voices. 6 years, 9 months ago. CID in full force. Influencers are posers. Watch out. Bombshell. Governments are funding influencers. Misinformation. Social media influencers. CID controlled information distribution. We're already telling you this. This is 10 months ago. This is before U.S. aid came out. Bombshell. Governments are funding influencers. Freedom of speech under attack. 1984 censorship. Channel takedowns ahead. CID 6 years ago. You're being lied to. CID outside opposition. How controlled information distribution works. And we keep going on and on. And 6 years ago, look at this. YouTube censorship select current creators to allow to pave the way for their influencers. So they're going to allow to pave the way. You see that, folks? For all these years, I'm trying to figure out how is this possible? Some people can and some can't. It's because they're chosen. So all right, everyone's jumping in the comments. All right. Okay, let's go over to America. Let's go over to the United States. Let's head over to the United States of America here and see what's going on. And Supreme Court lets Trump strip 500,000 migrants of legal status. Sure, why not? Again, he's following the Canadian model. I'm telling you, he is. In Canada, there was a lot of Portuguese that came on a path to citizenship in 2000 to help build the country. In 2006, all their path to citizenship was all stripped by the next government that came in. The conservative government came in and stripped legal status from Portuguese working in Canada that have kids in Canada and own property in Canada. Somebody's watching this show. I'm telling you, somebody of importance is watching this and taking notes. I'm not kidding you guys. Wouldn't play with you guys about this. But there it is. Supreme Court lets Trump strip 500,000 migrants of legal status. That's how you do it. That's how you clean up your country. And Maryland teen accused of 121 car break-ins released. So when does he stay behind bars? When he has 122 car break-ins?
Most impressive.
Because I can't make this stuff up. Because 121 car break-ins in Maryland. And he's released. Like, I don't know how this makes any sense, but I guess 122 is what needs to put keying cars, breaking cars, stealing cars, vandalizing and trashing cars. Holy crap. And let's move on. And Coast Guard seizes 28,000 pounds of cocaine.
Now, is this a person talking or is this a machine?
28,000 pounds, folks, you heard it right. $211 million in Port Everglades on Thursday. The haul was the result of four major... Wow. So, the largest bust came on May the 6th when air to sea crews recovered 14,559 pounds of cocaine from 3 bale fields 575 miles off Acapulco. Wow. Let's keep going. And Pride events face budget shortfalls as U.S. corporations pull support ahead of summer festivities.
9114 South Central.
And, of course, this is going to be happening as the new administration comes into play, just like anywhere else in the world. The new administration comes to play and starts reallocating funds where they belong. Nobody cares about anyone's sexual preference. I don't care about no one's sexual preference. Right? I don't care. And it's just over and over with the same thing. It's brainwashing, and leave the kids alone. That's we've been very hard on this channel about it. Leave the kids alone. And focus on the family added to SPLC's anti-LGBT hate group list. So a place called Focus on Family, about building strong family values at the home. SPLC with roots dating back to civil rights movement opposing white supremacist organizations, but has long garnered controversy for including conservative Christian entities among its list of so-called hate groups. Recently posted on an entry on Focus on the Family in its extremist file section. Focus on the Family has long relied on its biblical worldwide strategy to push back against the LGBT progress and reproductive rights. And yeah, especially when it's a child that doesn't even know if it's tricking or treating until they're 20, pretty much. It's just, yeah, you're on a hate group. You're hated. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what falls. Yeah, the normal queers or the old-fashioned homosexuals, they hate this. They hate this whole shit. A lot of them, like when I was in San Francisco, it was crickets, quiet. Not a single flag anywhere, no stickers on the window, nothing. Crickets. All right, guys. We are heading over to Canada. Or should I call it Shinada? Been calling it Shinada for a long time now. Over to Canada. And this is a really interesting one. A billionaire from China now owns 28 Hudson's Bay's leases. But what about the Toronto flagship? So it's going to be called Liu? New Bay? Liu? So here's the thing about this. And I want to clear this up with you guys. On social media for the last week, Canadian billionaire buys buys Hudson's Bay. Canadian billionaire woman buys Hudson's Bay. Canadian billionaire from BC woman buys Hudson's Bay. Canadian woman. Who the hell has $1 billion that's Canadian in Canada? Right?
You can?
And
Put the phone to your ear.
but who has, so I'm looking at this, then I look at the image. This lady is not Canadian. And I'm not making fun of her. It's because the headlines all over the place where Canadian woman or Canadian billionaire woman buys Hudson's Bay. Makes no sense. So I looked at that and I was like, huh? I'm not even Canadian. I put down Canadian on a resume for nationality. They'll arrest me. Anyways, let's keep going here. Toronto. New home sales crashed 72% to a record low. And people that bought up top and competed with money laundering from China, good luck. A lot of people that came in 2021 from India jumped on the ladder to buy real estate, and now they're going to be paying for it. And the Greater Toronto Area real estate downturn continued with new homes last month. Data shows April was the worst month for new home sales on record. Lofty inventory and a weak demand continue to apply downward pressure. And I read an article, I was reading some stats from you guys earlier in a video this morning. There's about 600 to 800 Chinese coming in per month from the United States. They need to escape the evil Donald Trump. So Chinese nationals that were born in China, raised in China, but came to America buying a gold passport or gold green card or gold whatever, laundered a pile of money through America, and now they're selling their assets in America, and they're coming right. They're coming right to Canada to spend that money. And the Canadian government is grinning right now, ear to ear grinning with that money coming in. Bring it in. Impoverish the middle class of Canada. They built it, but they can't participate in it. And this is a really sad story here out of Durham region here in Canada. Security video shows allegedly armed teen appearing to look for a victim. So an armed teen was walking around this suburban town area here, and Durham Regional Police homicide detectives are reviewing a video of an accused teen stabbing killer casing the street prior to the slaying. That cop sources say they had a look and feel of predators searching for prey. So going up and down the street, imagine doing some gardening in your house, your little quaint little home here, taking care of business, and there's flowers on the road here, on the front yard there for you guys to see. There it is right there. Rest in peace. That's where she passed. Sad. And you try to put the prick in jail that did this. Oh, he's got rights, don't do this. And then he does a GoFundMe, and he makes 200 grand. That's the bullshit we're living in. He makes 200 grand. What do you think is going to happen when people can't afford to buy food? 200 grand. And again, here it is again. 14-year-old charged with first-degree murder of elderly woman in Pickering, Ontario. That's in Durham region, guys. 14-year-old boy from Pickering has been charged with first-degree murder after elderly woman was stabbed to death on Thursday afternoon. That woman paid her way through life, paid taxes, probably fought in a war, probably busted her hump to retire and work on her garden. So the victim was named in court on Friday, but is being withheld from publication at the family's request. Of course, they're going to hide it because they don't want... the victim, sorry, was named. But okay, yeah, lots of respect to the family, prayers to the family, and send our prayers to the family and condolences to the family. But there's no information about the guy. You can't see what the guy looks like because it's Canada, right? And what do we tell you here? We told you a lot here. Oh boy, did we ever. Stabbings and knife violence set to skyrocket in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Let's look at the data 2 years ago. Stabbings are going up in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Migrant invasion destroying communities. Trudeau's online speech monitoring stabbing out of control. Trudeau's climate plan makes no sense. So we were warning you guys about knife crimes. We're going to start seeing an uptick here because we're following the trend from the UK and England, where they get 30 to 40,000 stabbings a year in England alone, depending on what region you're in too. And Canadian consumer insolvencies only surpassed by 2010 and 2020 peaks. And it goes on to say the Canadian economy may be outperforming, but the households are getting slaughtered. Again, it's at the household, people. The latest data from the Office of Superintendent of Bankruptcy shows consumer insolvency surged in March. The 12-month volume has reached levels only seen during 2010 and 2020. And Canadian consumer insolvencies may see a second wave surge. Canadian consumer insolvencies now rival 2010 and 2020 peaks. There it is right there. There we go. We're starting to peak out back to 2010. 2010 in Canada is when they passed the Vancouver model, allowing foreign nationals from China to launder their money. And once they brought in, this got down here because banks were lowering interest rates to like 1 and 0%. So Canadians could compete. And right here, around this time, 2016, is when you got the first-time home buyer loans. And then here you got a little bit of relief, but then it goes back up, and then it drops because of the C19. Remember the sickness? There it is. It dropped. Because remember, we told you guys, they have to shut things down. They're going to have to pull the trigger on the pandemic. Look at the financial mess we're in. And now we're back, and here it is. Back to 2020. Back to 2020 is what we're at right now. Back to 2010 levels. Away we go. This is major if you're living in Canada. And paying mortgage into retirement. Here's how you could plan your finances. Move to Costa Rica. Retire in Canada. Honest, hardworking families can't even exist in this country anymore. Unless they're cheating and stealing. Private sector families. Mom and pop shops. Can't afford it. So there it is. Paying a mortgage into retirement. Here's how you can plan your finances. My suggestion is leave the country. Canada Post asks job ministers to direct union to vote on final offers. So again, our postal company is going on strike again, folks. Here is why. Because we told you so. Mike in the Night, public sector workers cannot live in their own cities. Postal, police, and teachers. 5 years, 9 months ago. Canadian economy too dependent on public sector jobs. Nearly 9 out of 10 jobs created in 2021. It's unsustainable. Ireland needs to take itself back. The public sector jobs in America now grow as American Weekly jobless claims rise back above 700K. So we were warning you guys, junk employment data 7 years ago. We were warning you guys about how the public sector employees can't even afford to live in their own cities. All right, we got a very important message from Johnny LaRue here. So we got a very important message from Johnny LaRue. Hope you guys enjoy it. Important message from Johnny LaRue.
The following is a paid political announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present your candidate for City Council, Johnny LaRue.
Oh, hi, I'm Johnny LaRue, and I want your vote. Now, I'm not gonna beg you to vote for me, and I'm not gonna lie to you or try to fool you with any fancy figures or statistics you wouldn't understand. All I want to do is give you the straight dope on me and why I'm running for office. Now, a lot of people criticize me for being in show business. They say that actors should stay out of politics. Well, I'd like to see one of them try to handle a tricky role like Hamlet or Willie Loman in Death of a Salesman. Others say I lack the educational background to understand complicated issues. Well, I've been looking over the government reports here on tax reform, aid to public schools, land use statistics, economic growth projections. Hell, you'd need a college degree to understand it. And even if you could understand it, you wouldn't care anyway. No, if I'm elected, you're not going to find me with my nose buried in any law books or any reports. People are where it's at. And it's people that I love. Fine-looking family, isn't it? Well, it isn't my family. But if I had a family, they'd probably look just like that. Aren't you a cutie? Oh! You're fired. Get out!
You're disgusting, LaRue.
Get out!
He's gonna lose.
You're all fired. As you can see, I'm not afraid to take a tough stand on important issues. So remember, this election day, vote for me, Johnny LaRue, if you know what's good for you. Oh, yeah, come here. A lot of people have been saying that I've got mafia connections and that I'm gay. Well, I'm not gay. Just want the gay vote, that's all. I want all the votes. Vote for me.
The preceding was paid for by the Sicilian Homophile Society.
Man, that's our beloved Canadian hero, John Candy. Man, do I miss that man. Oh boy, do I ever miss John Candy. I keep watching his films over and over. He's got a lot of good movies out there, and I really enjoyed his screen time. All right, guys, we are headed to a new segment of the show. This is not news because you already know on Mike of the Night. This is not news because you already know. We're going to skip through some quick headlines here because you already know this stuff. Because it's not news. All right. Secret Service whistleblower. Whistleblower said Biden used to get lost in his closet.
Can you keep a secret?
Well, I'm going to tell you guys something. He was, the day he was president in the White House, walking around, he was pooping his pants. White House aides were cleaning up after him, walking around the White House mumbling, not knowing where he is, and whistleblowers coming out with this? Come on, you got something better than that.
I want to buy $200-300 worth of Haberdash.
And Skittles. Skittles removes a dangerous ingredient linked to DNA cellular damage following MAHA report. What? The headline needs to read, Skittles removes a dangerous ingredient linked to DNA and cellular damage following MH report, and the following people are going to prison. The following people are going to prison. Then we got a victory. People are saying, oh, we got a victory because they're removing these harmful chemicals that are killing us. Put the people in jail that put it in. All right, Meta. Good old Zuckerberg. He's a Republican now. Meta plans to replace humans with AI to assess privacy and societal risks. Again, he doesn't want to. He stop blaming the fact checkers. Now you're going to blame the whole AI thing, and
This is Ricky Roma.
they're going to blame the AI thing, and now he doesn't have fact checkers to blame anymore. Let's keep going. And AI threatens jobs. 50% of white-collar roles at risk. Yeah, we knew that. But I guess they want to let you know again that AI is taking over. And Musk explains his black eye.
I have a problem.
Yes, black eye. There it is. Musk. We told you there's going to be a falling out. We told you that this guy was a Democrat to get the money at first and then switched to Republican when the pendulum swung back. Free Tommy Robinson, going around the world telling everyone what to do. And I guess that came to an end. And Musk in Oval Office farewell brushes off NYT report on ketamine use. So ketamine's like a weird drug that makes you all weirded out. So, I guess I don't know. Who cares about these people? Guys, don't trust these people. Don't listen to these people. I told you that Musk is going to be, he's a very dangerous person. Watch out. And I don't think he's not done yet. Keep an eye on him. And boom. GM, General Motors, shifts away from EV. Yeah, okay, we knew that was a failure. With $888 million investment in New York V8 engine plants. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And where's my V8 engine plant? I had a little sound bite for that. And I don't have it here. I lost the sound bite, guys. Oh, it was so perfect for this. It was so perfect for this.
I would like a limo. 8 o'clock. I want a table for two, and I don't mean Siberia.
So, anyways,
Yes, I have a problem.
Anyways, so yeah, V8 engine plant. So there it is. The V8's coming back, and let's give a round of applause for that. And guys, you already knew. This is not news because you already knew. Thanks for tuning in to this little segment of Mike in the Night. All right. Oh, yeah. I don't know where my little sound... I saved the sound bite for you guys tonight when I read that article. And I don't see it here. Damn. Oh, that's so sad. Maybe it's on another page? Oh, no, that's from Scarface.
D. Ray Morton.
Who are you carrying all those bricks for, anyway?
Guess who? Guess who?
Where were you last night?
I love the soundboard. All right, let's move on to... We got another very special segment of the show. It is all a distraction here on Mike in the Night. Caution, distraction ahead. It's all a distraction. So what is distracting now? Let's head over. Let's head over to the distractions. Zelensky playing games instead of negotiating, says Russian diplomat. Of course! Guys, this is all a distraction. You want more distractions? Here you go. Kiev dodges $665 million payment as default fears grow. He had last year to pay $665 million on the debt he owes to international creditors that knew he wasn't going to be able to pay it back. It's all of distraction. It's totaling $2.6 billion, by the way. And ISIS leader Ali Baghdadi is back again. Ali Baghdadi is back again. Yes, he is, ladies and gentlemen. Ali Baghdadi is back again. The new boogeyman is back again.
I have a problem.
And again, it's all a distraction. What else do we have in distractions? Greta, remember Greta Thunberg? Remember Greta Thunberg? Oh, there she is. What's she doing? Heading for Gaza with a shipload of anti-Israeli activists.
Mr. Williamson.
There you go, Greta Thunberg. Another distraction. Here we go. Czech Republic sentences teacher for pro-Russian views. Again, as a distraction, distracting people. And unbelievable. Machetes go on sale in Berlin supermarket despite 79 knife crimes a day. 70 knife crimes a day. Outrage from German police union follows. So 79, you can't. I I don't really know what to say about that, because it doesn't make any sense.
What is thy bidding, my master?
All right, let's move on. And Trump, China, Panama Canal ramps up fight. Again, it's a distraction. Just starting more distractions to heed you away from the truth. And Macron, remember this guy? 2017, 2018, 2019. We covered it on this channel. The Yellow Vest movement going on until 2020, until they pulled the trigger on the pandemic to shut it all down. Shut it down. Macron, what the hell's he doing there? We told you guys Macron will be there forever. Yeah, my 2017 live stream. Macron and Trudeau will be there forever. You think Trudeau's gone? He's in the shadows. Don't worry. But Macron's still there. He survived 3 years of Yellow Vest movement, 2 elections, and a snap election, and he's still there to destroy Europe. And Macron threatens China with NATO expansion.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
And, ladies and gentlemen, it's all a distraction. You already knew it was a distraction. Thanks for tuning into this part of the show. It's all a distraction, folks. That's exactly where we're at right now. Guys, I'm going to give you guys the email here, if that's okay. I need you guys, give you guys the email. If you want to join our email list and you enjoy watching Mike in the Night, you could go ahead and email here, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. That goes right to my email. That goes right to me, comes to my phone, and I could add you to our mailing list. If you like Mike in the Night enough, because we have to change all the time. If something happens here, we got to move somewhere else. And if you really like the show enough and you really want to watch it and not miss it, I can add you to my mailing list, MikeMartins1980@gmail.com. And Kevin J. Johnson sent me something. We're going to get Kevin J. Johnson on the show tonight, guys. And I really, really appreciate him taking us, allowing us to plug this here to help out the channel. Tax problems. Are you in Canada and you have tax problems, guys? MikeMartinsTax.com. MikeMartinsTax.com. Use that link. I'll put a link on the replay here when we're done. MikeMartinsTax.com, and that he'll solve your tax issues if you're in Canada. If you're living in Canada, he'll fight to the knife for your rights. He will. He will. And he's worth every penny. From what I've heard, from feedback from people that have contacted me at my store and told me. So we'll get into that in a bit. He's going to call in because a lot of Canadians are going to be shafted with these inheritance taxes. All of the big bully shit that's going on in Canada. It's really, 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 really heartbreaking. You know, I haven't seen Supreme Canon on the chat tonight or Dr. Mysterio. Dr. Mysterio is usually here. Dr. Mysterio is usually here, but I don't see him in the comments either. Okay, all right. So I guess we're going to be hanging around Instagram. We are just hanging around Instagram, folks. Here we go. You see that right there? You're not going to believe what that is. Take a good look at that, folks. You see that? That's a gigantic television screen in a restaurant. That is incredible. I can't believe how we've advanced so much that you could even run a fake breeze with a few fans in there to make it feel like you got the atmosphere of, like, you know, the wind and the cars passing. That is incredible. I had to put this on tonight's show. We are innovating in other ways, but we're also falling apart massively on other fronts. But that's incredible, man. And on the 401, this is a major highway in Canada with 6-7 lanes up, 6-7 lanes down. Guy's doing a rim job here. Holy crap, that guy's doing a rim job. Holy smokes.
Is a taxi cab coming? Listen, I called for a cab about an hour ago, and so far, there's no cab come yet.
There's no cab come yet. There it is right there. Wow. And wow, people in Poland chant Donald Trump while protesting against illegal migration. He's a symbol of freedom for the world. And I told you guys, America is the last little light in the world. Once that light goes out, and I keep begging Americans, do not give up your Constitution. Don't rewrite your Constitution. Don't change anything your founding fathers knew. Right?
Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Donald Trump!
Donald Trump is not just a person, he's a symbol of freedom that will cover all the free world.
They're not lying. America is the last bastion of freedom, the last light. And Berlin, Germany, the only language they understand. So, again, there's people fighting and stuff, and the Germans have had enough, the Dutch have had enough, the French have had enough, the Spanish have had enough, the Portuguese have had enough. And Michelle Wu, everyone booing her. So everyone's booing Michelle Wu. She's like that Chow lady from Canada, from the mayor of Toronto. No one voted for these people. These people are all planted. And we have several videos about her. Michelle Wu, we hate you. Why, Mike? Why so much hate? Well, because she was making fun of first-time responders, white workers, white firefighters. And there was a big protest outside of her house in Boston, Massachusetts. Right? Big protest outside her house. No one voted for these people. And that's why they're always getting booed everywhere they go. And this is from May 1st.
What does that mean?
It means like what we're doing today. When the federal government violates the Constitution, goes out of their way to interfere with our exclusive jurisdiction, we are going to meet them with every step that we can in order to preserve our ability to manage our own affairs. And in today's announcement, particularly for electricity, we are simply not going to allow the federal government, based on ideology, to violate the Constitution and put our people at risk of being in blackout during the dead of winter or the heat of summer. We're just not going to do it. So these are the kind of things that you can expect.
That is Daniel Smith out of Alberta. We did a video you could watch on our channel called Daniel Smith, a Real Canadian Hero. I think the video is 2-3 years old now, but watch it. It's good. And in Vancouver, it's always Vancouver. Oh, gets sideswiped. The guy on the motorcycle gets sideswiped, almost gets hit. The guy rolls up to see if the lady or guy is doing okay. Are you okay? You almost hit me. And what happens? Wants to get out and fight. Yeah.
Hello. Hello. How you doing? What do you want? What do you want here?
Yes, I have a problem.
And then chases him down, takes over the lane, and then goes around him on oncoming traffic. Wow. Oh, then she gets out of the car, walks across the street, and then wants to fight him. Holy smokes.
Don't call me sir.
Wow. Wow, you can't make this up. This is what Canada's become. When you're indebted like this, when you're severely in debt and you can't afford to buy food, you're just going to lash out at everyone around you. And in Vancouver again, boom! Antifa boy beating up cars. Look at that. The car's got a huge dent on the side. Beating up people's cars on Main Street there. Holy smoke. Let's move on here. Look at that. Damaging the guy's car. And in Toronto, boom. Jeweler who fought back in the Greater Toronto area. A lot of stuff coming out of Canada. So, taking the sledge to the boom. Came out with, what is that, a rod? Boom. That's the wand. That's the secret wand. Wow. Daytime robberies. Common thing in Canada, folks. And Iranian scientist Eldini Kazami invents a car that runs on water. Remember what happened to the last guy, I think in Michigan? Was it in Michigan? That invented a car that ran on water, ended up disappearing? 900 kilometers for it could ride for 10 hours. And its power is generated after H2O split into hydrogen and oxygen, right? Which react chemically to produce energy. And the car runs. There's ways of doing anything. Anything is possible, right? And these are the people you argue with on the internet. No, this is actually a view farm, guys. So when you see all these Rumble heroes and Twitter stars and YouTube influencers that showed up after 2020, after COVID, to tell you what you already know, well, these are view farms. These are all the views they're getting. You can see the screens are on the same page. They're watching the same thing. So view farms are giving them all these views, right? That's something like whitehouse.gov would use, and a lot of the, again, social media influencers that showed up after 2020, and this is being funded through U.S. aid. That's why Bono wants to bring back U.S. aid. And Canada is still arming Israel, so pro-war protests here. Yep.
So, you have accepted the truth.
And what's going on in BC? Again, what's happening in Canada? Look at this guy. What? Look at all the cops chasing the guy down. What is going on? Again, when you can't afford to buy food, trust me, you start losing it. And Williams Lake considering declaring a state of emergency due to public disorder. So Williams Lake, BC, May 29, 2025. Williams Lake, BC is under invasion from homelessness. And if they could get the mayor to grow a set of balls and actually do something about it, because the mayor in my town, in Merritt, has done something about this and has set things straight. But yeah, it's time to grow a set of balls, buddy, and start to put your people first, because this is all BS. The cities can fix these problems if they have the right people in charge. I could bet you anything you want. Because, again, in the town I'm at, in Merritt, BC, we have a mayor that's single-handedly fixed a lot of problems pretty much the day he stepped in to office. And this is how people reacted to the village. Oh, what was this? Oh, it's a Catholic thing in Lebanon. Hailing Mary here. And, yep. I'm a Roman Catholic myself, and Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now to the hour of our death. Amen. And look at what Trump just put outside the White House so the media can't avoid it. These are all deported, arrested, deported, arrested, deported, arrested. So what he's doing is, you remember back in the day when they would put the heads of your enemies on the pikes? On those pikes? When they put enemies on the pikes, that's what's happening here. And he's doing it on billboards, which is the more civil thing to do nowadays. And so these people are stealing flowers, fresh flowers from grave sites here. And usually migrants do this. They come in, they steal. Yeah, they're stealing ornaments and stuff, and then going back to a flea market and then reselling flowers and reselling the stuff. They're stealing from dead people. I don't see people, Westerners, Europeans, they don't do this stuff because we just feel we'll be cursed. We do things like this, we'll be cursed. And Portugal, believe it or not, U17 won the Euro Cup against Italy. Portugal won the Euro Cup. I am so proud of these guys. I mean, I don't watch too much soccer, but wow, I am so proud of Portugal. I am so proud to be Portuguese. I just love my culture, and I paint it all over. And look, he stopped another penalty there. I think he stopped 3 or 4 penalties. Yep. And there it is right there from a different angle. I just so proud to be Portuguese. And China is also deporting immigrants. Rice will find you. There he is, Rice. You see Rice? And there's Rice. Rice is looking for you.
We would be honored if you would join us.
And let's move on. Cathedral at performance sparks controversy. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. I think it looks like a chicken in a diaper. I don't know what the hell that is, but that is the most bizarro thing I have ever seen in a cathedral. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's there. And why it's happening, right?
Well, if you must know, I am thinking very seriously about getting a job as Spider-Man.
And man seen casing East Vancouver homes. So men are going around looking at the homes, looking at the setups. A lot of empty homes in Vancouver that are owned by foreign investors that are left empty. And people are going around and squatting and breaking in and taking what they need. And this guy tries to set a fire to something and ends up burning himself. That's out of Australia there. That's in Campbellfield, Victoria. Wow. Look at it. Just pours the gasoline. Look at that. And, oops, I pushed the wrong button. Anyways, guys, that is hanging around Instagram, guys. Thank you so much for being part of this little segment of the show that I do to kind of show you guys firsthand what is really going on in the world and how it's playing out and how it's going to affect you. All right. We got, I hope Kevin's following the show so he knows where we're at. And I want to get Kevin on. It's been like 3-4 weeks since we've had Kevin on Mike in the Night. And we need him on. And I really appreciate him doing this for me. MikeMartinsTax.com. You having tax? A lot of Canadians are having tax problems. You're having tax problems. You're in Canada. MikeMartinsTax.com. Help me out. Help a brother out. And we'll get him on the show in 1 second. Okay, I'm going to give him a call here. He's going to take a swing of water, folks, and wet this beak. This is Mike and Vince.
You are tuned into Mike of the Night, the voice of Commonwealth. It's 3 a.m. and something is moving you.
Brother. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kevin J. Johnson here on Mike of the Night, arguably the second or third most important guy you will ever speak to. Kevin, thanks for coming on Mike of the Night. Let me get a round of applause for you here from our soundboard. It's so good to have you on. It's been a couple of weeks now, and I want to thank you for taking me on board to help get you out there and help support this transmission equally.
Well, you know, Mike, as I've told you many times, you seemingly are anywhere between 3 and 10 years ahead of the entire curve in reference to media. Stories you've told 10 years ago have come true time and time again. So I want to say congratulations on being so correct so often. And I just want to let the audience know out there, you guys got to give Mike a hand here. This guy, I don't know where you find this stuff out, Mike, but you're certainly better than any other journalist in the country right now. I can tell you that. Yeah, I come to Mike for my news. I don't go to anybody else for news at all.
I appreciate that.
Go ahead, Mike.
But I've been cheating, though. I've been formulating the playbook in my mind. If I was the most disgusting, evil, vile person on earth, what would I do next to the population? And I've been following what I think they would do. Pull the trigger on a pandemic. Can't afford to buy food. Bring in migrants and destroy everything. And it starts to play out. So I kind of cheated on that and kind of played What would I do if I was evil and wanted to destroy the Western civilization? And it's happening.
It's happening faster than we would all like. Apparently, 830 immigrants were brought in from various African and Southeast Asian and, of course, Islamic nations, all coming over for a free ride. They're never going to contribute a damn thing to our society in any particular way. And who pays for that? That would be the Canadian populace. But, Mike, here's the good news. A lot of Canadians are so fed up that they are now taking my lead and they're no longer paying tax. They just need a way to legally not pay tax, which is the solution that I have for all Canadians out there. I'm not sure if I told the story, but I'll tell it again just in case I haven't. And that is, I started studying taxes, Canadian tax law, when I was 13 years of age. Why? Well, the story goes, my folks bought a condominium in a place called Indian Rocks Beach in Florida, which we love going to every single year. I was 9 when they bought the condo. When I turned 13, turns out I was starting to figure out the way that my father ran his life, and he was a very cheap individual. So he hired the worst accountant on the planet. This guy's name was Al Sin, a 500-pound Hawaiian alcoholic who laughed at his own jokes all the time. And I figured as a kid, something was wrong because this fat accountant was sitting at our kitchen table drinking my parents' beer and eating my mother's cooking, laughing at his own jokes. And when you're
Kevin,
yeah,
we could be a little bit more politically correct. He's not fat. He's a tub of lard. Okay, keep going.
I would have perhaps said fat tub of shit, but
tub of lard.
All right, so this tub of lard, this alcoholic rhinoceros, got busted by the Americans for tax fraud, and the Canadian government extradited him to face justice in the States. And that's when the Canada Revenue Agency, called Revenue Canada at the time, decided to audit everybody this guy did taxes for. So they told my parents, wrap up all your stuff, drive from the city of Mississauga to St. Catharines, which is right by Niagara Falls, and sit in a room. They actually got locked into rooms, sequestered from each other, to answer questions about their taxes, which ended up costing them 1/3 of their wealth. They got a lien on their house placed by the CRA, and they had to pay this thing down. Absolutely ridiculous. And I kept asking my parents, why did you not get a lawyer? My old man obviously was embarrassed by the whole thing. Mind your own business. It's the government. You got to do it. And my mother was the same message, just in this fashion. It's the government. You have to do it. They said I can't have a lawyer. Right. So the CRA lied. They lied about their authority. They lied about the fact that you can't have a lawyer present and stole money from my folks. I've wanted vengeance that long. So I've studied tax law that long. And Mike, so far, since January 1st of last year, I have taken over $148 million away from the Canada Revenue Agency completely legally, and there is nothing they can do about it. And I mean positively nothing that they can do about it. So one of the key things that we do is people that have corporations, if they've got income tax debt, payroll debt, GST, HST, whatever
GST.
debts they've got, I buy the corporation and I take all of their debt away from them. Every single penny, they get to start over. Now, how does that sound? All my clients that we do this for, they become profitable within 4 months because not only do I buy up all their debt, Mike, I train them on how to never pay tax again legally. It's completely 100% legal to not pay tax and not going the route of the free man on the land movement. Those guys are idiots. No, this is a matter of you're not paying tax legally by putting everything through numbered corporations and then just not doing the paperwork that you legally are not obligated to do. Clause 150 of the Income Tax Act in Canada says you shall do a tax return without the requirement being asked of you by the Minister of Finance. But the word shall in civic law means, hey, could you think about it? Could you perhaps consider one day giving a crap enough to have a thought in your mind long enough to endure the concept of giving us a tax return? You don't have to do tax returns in Canada. Completely optional. But the average Canadian, at least now, Mike, is listening. Where 10 years ago, I couldn't get a single person to listen to anything I was saying, nor could you for that matter. Now, Now they're all listening. So we have a ton of people we're doing taxes for. And Mike, you and I have talked about this, and I know that your audience has some trouble here and there with taxes. So we set up a page for you, which is MikeMartinsTax.com, everybody. If you have a corporation that you want to sell that has all kinds of debt and you want to walk away from your debt without going bankrupt, because bankruptcies don't work, then just head on over to Mike's website there, fill out the form, and I'm going to contact you within 72 hours, and we can buy the corporation up for you, get your debt gone within 24 hours after that conversation takes place. I've got this down to a fine science.
Kevin,
Mike,
I got a question since I got you here. I'm looking
to
buy the store I'm in. I have my store. I'm in the building. I want to buy the store, and I want to put it into a numbered company, and then the numbered company, I want to put my entire family owning percentages of it, right? Now,
yes.
What kind of, is it an LT, LTD, L-Lot, Inc.? What corporation do I put it under?
Just go with an INC. There's no real difference between an INC or an LTD if you're going to be using it as a holding company. You just have to designate it in the corporate bylaws that I would write for you that it's a holding company. It does not conduct commerce. And
so
that
I don't
way,
have to file that tax thing every month with the province of BC that I still have a corporation. That's so bizarre. I do a corporate return for my little business. I don't make much money, so I don't even pay much tax anyway. But I do my corporate return, but I have to do a BC licensing to make sure that I still have a corporation. Even though I file a return every year, I still have to do something on the side for $60 every month. And if I forget, they close down my corporation. And it's not even tied.
Monthly is bizarre. I've never heard of that.
No, yearly. It's yearly. It's $59 a year. Sorry, $59 a year.
So it's annuals. I was just going to say it's all annual.
Do I still have to do that if it's a holding company?
Yes. Give them their $60 and keep them off your.
I don't mind that. Is if I pass away or something happens to me and my wife doesn't know about it, and my kids don't know.
Well, Mike, it's our job as men to make sure that our families know positively everything. As men, and look, maybe I should lecture the men of the country right now. It is terrifying to think about how many of you don't have your crap together. You should have entire files assembled that your eldest kid will get so that you know that your finances are going to be well taken care of. It's our job as men to teach our children how the system works, how corporations work, how money works, how banking works. By the way, if I die, here's exactly what you do. Mike, here's what I did. I've got 2 lawyers. So for all my bank accounts, my crypto, anything at all that has value, my son gets the email addresses from one lawyer. My daughter gets all the passwords from another lawyer. I'm not telling anybody who the lawyers are at all. They'll find out from the law firm when I am dead. Then those 2 kids have got to work together to drain all my bank accounts. I've also explained to them that in the result of my death, that I don't want you telling anybody about it at all until you've drained everything. A lot of people out there are in a real hurry to get on Facebook. Mom died. They want sympathy. Don't do that. For the love of God, everybody, try having a private life. This way, when someone in your family dies, you've got as much time as you need to drain their bank accounts and present the death certificate to banks, to insurance companies, to life insurance companies, to the properties branch, whatever it is, take everything out, then report. I always tell everyone the rule is real simple. We don't even bother reporting a death to any branch of government for 3 years after the person's dead, because then nothing they can do. If the CRA, for example, wanted to have some kind of court action against you, which they don't do, by the way, but let's just say they did, they've only got 2 years from the date of death to file any of that paperwork. So if you wait 3 years, their time is up. Now, and they're not going to file a motion in the court to have that time extended, because if they did, they would be going to federal tax court and not real superior court. And federal tax court in Canada is just a tribunal. It's not even a court, Mike. They have no authorization and no jurisdiction over equity and money. So when the tax court of Canada issues any commands, ignore them. Just say, nah, you're tribunal. Fungu.
Ma fungulo.
Yeah, get lost.
Guys, this is it right here. Sell us your corporation. We take all the debt. Go through the link. I'm going to put it on the replay after. MikeMartinsTax.com. There's a lot of people that are suffering right now. And I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm going to give you something, Kev. I'm going to give you something. So I had a gentleman calling me from Eastern Canada, I think New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. And he called me at my store because he knows that I know you and he's watched you. He's watched me on your show. And he said, man, that guy, Kevin, is interesting. That guy has it out for the CRA. That guy will do anything. It doesn't matter. He'll do whatever it takes to destroy the CRA. That's how out for it he has. So he really, as I told me about, he didn't give into any specifics, but he said he took care of my problem within about 3 weeks. I called him back and it was all settled. And it was worth every penny. I was like, oh, thank God. So I'm getting testimonials of people calling. You know that guy? Yeah, I was on his show. Well, this guy helped me for real, Mike. And I'm like, yes. Yes.
Well, Mike, he's correct. I have it out for the CRA like you wouldn't believe. There is nobody in Canada that hates the CRA and the entire governmental structure of Canada more than me. I despise them in every way. I do not view anybody who works for the Canada Revenue Agency as a human being. I view them as toys for me to play with. That's it. And if you were all to head over to my Rumble channel, just type in the word freedomreport.ca. Mike, there's a video there where on Monday of this week, I spoke to an auditor, and the auditor admits to me that the auditors have no authority, that we can ignore them at our leisure. So it's worth listening to. These people are not cops. I will definitely
take a look at it. You're allowed on Rumble?
Funny enough, Rumble picks on you, but they have never picked on me once. Not one takedown, not one warning, not one anything. Mike, who did you sleep with or who did you not sleep with to get this to happen to you?
No, there's something wrong because sometimes I try to go live and I don't have a stream key, so I can't go live. But I could set up the live stream, but then I can't get the stream key to put it in the OBS. Without the stream key, it's useless. So it just happened 2 times now in 2021 and like a few weeks ago. So we just moved to Odyssey. Said but you know what? There's no ads on Odyssey. Over on Rumble, everyone was complaining every 15 minutes of running an ad. Dog food commercials. Russell Brand, just running ads over our stuff while I'm
on your channel.
100 million%. Ask everyone in the. Are you on Odyssey right now? Can you see the chat?
Oh, I see it just fine.
Okay, guys, go ahead and tell Kevin that I'm not lying, that they're running ads over my stuff while I'm live on Rumble. Dog food commercials, all kinds of weird stuff. And I don't know that they've cut my show, and then I come back like I'm still talking, like you know what I'm saying? And it's
okay.
Yeah.
Mike, I got a suggestion for you. So everybody who's watching right now, could everybody please donate 10, 20, 30 bucks to Mike? Whatever you feel the show is worth. Mike, I got an idea. I started paying Rumble $10 a month.
I have that. I have the $40 plan. I have the $40 one.
Do you?
Yeah.
I pay them 10.
Mr.
And I
Canada,
don't have any ads running on mine.
Mr. Canada just says commercials all the time. They run one every 15 minutes. And it's not a 30-second thing. It's like some of them go for 6 minutes. So, yeah, Rumble ads were the worst, says Papa Pissed. The ads are like ads. I just feel infected by them. So people they got my back. They know I'm not making this up. It's just so weird. Here on Odyssey, there's no ads. Then after the show is done, I could download it off Odyssey and upload it to Rumble and everywhere else if people want to watch it on BitChute, and I'm on BitChute and Brighteon. You got to get on Brighteon, Kevin. Are you on Brighteon yet?
Oh yeah, I've been there for about 4 years, maybe 5.
Good. I have 4 followers on Brighteon, but I get 400, 500 views on some videos with 4 followers. So that's a good ratio, man.
Well, you're doing something right with the hashtags, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, hey, listen, folks. Mike, this guy's a wealth of knowledge. He knows a lot about a lot. Everyone who's watching right now, throw $10 at Mike right now so we can see if we can figure out some way to get the ads off of Mike's Rumble channel. Because, Mike, again, at the beginning I said here that I don't know how you find this stuff out, but I come to you for news. I don't waste my time going to any media outlets for news. You got the good stuff and the real stuff, and they've got trash, lies, deceit, and more
the
trash.
US aid thing. 7,001 Canadian influencers were getting paid by US aid to tell people what we already knew, and they were like God sent heroes after. I can't believe it. 7,001 Influencers in Canada. Mexico got a few. Europe got a lot. But 7,001 7,001 people were getting U.S. tax dollars in Canada for bullshitting people or telling people what they're... Now, that's why Bono is in the news. Bono from U2 is complaining, saying, bring back USA now, Trump. Or he was threatening Trump yesterday, saying, bring back USA now, Trump, or you'll regret it. Because a lot of these influencers that were getting US aid are just dropping off. Me, I've been doing it for free all these years.
Well, you have been, and I thought that Bono guy died of a drug overdose or something.
No,
that guy's still alive?
He's on the news. He's on the news.
Could Bono, do us all a favor. Just die, would you? Nobody cares. Your social relevancy is really not as relevant as you think it is.
What he said about Mark Carney?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he loves Mark Carney.
Yeah,
go back to the beginning of my show. I that's the first article I read. Bono is at awe with Mark Carney. The world loves Mark Carney because Bono said so. Because it's like that idiot. What's that other idiot's name? Zuckerberg. It was the fact checkers. I didn't censor nobody. And then the piece of crap goes on the Joe Rogan show to tell everybody it was the influencers and they're friends with Joe Rogan. And it's all bullshit.
Yeah, but you know what though, Mike? I have to blame the people who are watching and absorbing and consuming those products. They allow themselves to be lied to because they're so interested in their own disinteresting lives. It is really sad, the stupid things that people distract themselves with. And it's incredible that the average person does not comprehend how average they really are, nor do they comprehend that it's entirely their fault that they remain average. The average person is always looking for some type of distraction. NHL hockey, NFL football, NBA basketball, the fights on the weekend, UFC, or the strip joint. That's one I don't get. Paying money to some chick you can't touch, that's bizarre. But these distractions stop you from advancing. And Mike, since we talked about this, since I left Canada, which is not quite 20 months ago, I have become a millionaire because I'm no longer being influenced by left-wing rhetoric, by weak individuals, by radical feminists, by all the left-wing crap that we have to put up with. There's no pride flags here in Panama. There is no pride influence. There's no left-wing influence. The people here are aware
Dude,
of how bad Canada is.
You're in a Catholic country.
It's beautiful.
You're in a Catholic country. Your country, Panama, has God. It's different. And a country that has God is all family. You notice how the families stick together there?
Oh, yes.
It's different.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Panama has God. And Canada's lost God years ago. Years and years ago, Canada's lost God. So you're in a Catholic country. It's different.
High family values. They are very patriotic here. In fact, Panama has a national day of praise of its own flag. It's a 5-hour parade that goes right through downtown Panama City. It's absolutely remarkable. I mean, 5 hours, Mike. 5-hour parade. I swear to God, there was more people in the parade than there were watching the parade. It was a huge one. Mm-hmm. But that's how much they love their country. They can't wait to show it off. And I have been advertising it incredibly well to a lot of people. And here's a kicker for y'all. I paid cash for my condo. And since I've done that in Panama, my living expenses are $7,000 a year. That includes everything. That's electricity, internet, gas, water, food, entertainment, all of the above.
Dude, I pay $5,000 a year for internet.
$5,000 a year.
Yeah, I have my bill right here. It's like $470 for last month.
My God, my internet is $15 a month. 1.5. That's it.
I know it is. Because my bandwidth upload, I don't have unlimited upload on purpose because they know I'm streaming. The average Canadian doesn't go 20 gigabytes over upload. Download, you can stream everything you want, but upload, that's where they get me. Because the average Canadian doesn't upload 20 gigabytes upload a month. They're lucky if they could do 1 gigabyte a month. But
and you know, Mike, it's part of the culture here. Everybody is podcasting here all of the time.
Oh, really?
So even the cell phone packages are completely unlimited. If you do a speed test down here of internet in Panama, you'll notice that the upload is equal to or double what the download speeds are. They love to talk down here. They love to upload. Everyone's filming church groups all the time. They're filming soccer games all the time. They're talking. everywhere you go, people have ring lights and they're making some type of video.
Mm-hmm.
So upload speeds are great. And you can have unlimited data on your cell phone here for $5 a week. Yeah. So it's very conducive to living a high quality life.
Mm-hmm.
You get high quality stuff from the canal, and you're paying bargain prices for it, basement prices for it. It's worth it, man. It's totally worth it.
Dude, I would give a lot. I would give 5 years of my life to move my family to a predominant Catholic country, because I'm a Roman Catholic myself. We're Catholic. We go to church every Sunday, right? I would give 5 years of my life, like, just give it to God. Just let me enjoy the rest of my time, and knowing that my kids are going to be safe or more secure, right? Because right now, this country doesn't have God, brother.
It's not going to for a very long time to come, which is unfortunate. And the breakdown of the family unit has crushed the country. So if you're all wondering why you're agitated and aggravated all the time, it's because, like Mike said, even if you're not practicing, at least the culture, the unifying culture that we had through Christianity is
Ten
gone.
Commandments.
It's all gone.
If you follow the Ten Commandments, don't steal, don't have sex with your neighbor's wife, don't lie, don't cheat, don't respect your parents, right? If you just follow the 10 Commandments, man, we'd be living in paradise. The whole world would be paradise.
Well, you're right, but we're not, and that's the big problem. This has been done to you deliberately, by the way, Canada. However, I also have to say this. Whenever you see an injustice by your government, you got to do something about it. Mike, I was just watching some video tonight of when the Panamanians wanted to boot there was a Canadian mining company that was trying to mine in a national park. Panamanians shut the country down. Every city, every town, every village was shut down completely. Toronto, during the COVID nonsense, the best that we had in Toronto was a 10,000 person protest. And even that turned into a joke. It turned into a party with everybody dancing around like idiots. The Panamanians do things right. When the Mexicans protest, they shut down the city. They'll have 20 million people in the city shutting it down. And the same thing with European countries. When they are angry, they protest. When Canadians are angry, they have a beer and say, someone else will take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why your country sucks. Canadians have had it way too good for far too long. In the meantime, since Canadians no longer have it good, Mike, you and I are going to help them beat all their tax problems. And I appreciate you getting involved with me on this and bringing to light the fact that these tax problems are 100% beatable. 100% beatable.
And I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful because it's very hard for me to support something or back something that isn't going to be beneficial for someone, right? I can't sell out, right? I just, you know me, I can't sell out. I'm not for sale, right? But if I know someone's going to be helped by this, then we got something worth working for, right? Or working towards, right?
Well, since January of last year, Mike, I've bought over 250 corporations. That's 250 people who walked away from all of their debt, and they did it in less than a week's time, all of them. Then I start them over, and they become profitable in 4 months or less.
Interesting. Well, me on my front, I'm not in debt. I don't make a lot of money anyways, but I have no debt. Everything's all paid up. I don't have anything. And if I do pay anything, it's a couple of dollars too. So, I mean, because I'm not making crazy amounts of money, right? And
yeah, I get that.
It's kind of sad.
I also get the fact that you've been under attack for a very long time by leftist maniacs all over the country. So, I mean, you're up against all that. And Mike, look, I had the same thing going on, so I feel for you immensely. I had judges, cops, lawyers, the left wing, Black Lives Matter, Antifa. They were all on my case all of the time. And there just aren't enough hours in a day to filter through all that nonsense. And now that I'm nowhere near it, I'm flourishing. There's nobody there taking my stuff away from me. Eventually, Mike, I think you may get fed up with Communist Canada and probably leave yourself.
I'm just waiting I'm just waiting for my wife or my mom to come home one day and just be completely fed up with something. And that's it. Wrap it up. We're gone. You right? Just wrap it up. We're gone. But if you come and see where I am, it's a little bit different, though. If you actually see where I am in the mountains, by rivers and lakes, I mean, walking distance to hunting, dude. You could hunt walking distance away from me. It's so beautiful, surrounded by the mountains. One major highway going through just to connect you to Vancouver or going up north. I'm living in paradise too. If you come and see where I'm at, it's actually really nice. It's beautiful. Beautiful views from my balcony, my house. It's worth the look. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of worth the... And a small town where I'm at, if there's enough of us to run in council and start muscling in, not really muscling in, but getting into positions in a small town like this, like a bunch of wise guys like us could, set the motion, we could have enough people if they want to live. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
I do, Mike, I do. And I agree with you that the land mass of Canada is gorgeous. The Rocky Mountains, Niagara Falls, the West Coast, the East Coast, there's a lot of gorgeous things to see. But the politics, the left wing runs every branch of government, federal, provincial, municipal, educational, administrative, judicial. Every branch is run by the crazies. And the crazies have absolutely destroyed the place. And they all seem to think they've got the moral high ground. And they don't, because they don't have no morals at all. I can't be around that anymore. So for all of the Canadians out there that are having tax troubles, get a hold of Mike on his new website there, MikeMartinsTax.com. And I'm going to, along with Mike, we're going to wipe out your tax debt. I'd like you all to start over and keep making your own money and keeping it. Mike, you actually can get wealthy in Canada so long as you're never paying tax.
Well, I offset a lot of my expenses through the company too, so I'm not really unloading too much on myself, which is a good thing. So,
but Mike, you don't have payroll. That's the one that kills a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't have payroll. No way, man.
Nine out of 10 companies that have debt always have payroll trouble. So we eliminate that completely.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I have a secondary payroll company. We will take payroll over and stop them from going down that road again.
Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very happy to be aligned with something positive like this that's going to actually help people out. Because taxes are stress. Taxes they add to removes your life expectancy. It shortens your life expectancy. Taxes do that. The stress, woof. When I had the big corporation down on the coast in Vancouver, that big store with eight or nine payrolls going in the whole 9 yards, man, I'm so glad I sold that thing and just walked away from it. I'm so grateful to this day that I just have me and I take out a share or two if I need some money, and that's it.
You're one of the lucky ones. Very few people have that level of control over their business, Mike. So we're here to help. Brother, thank you. It was great seeing you again. It really was. Everyone, donate $10 at least to Mike here. Let's keep the lights on, keep the internet flowing. This man is remarkable. Mike, it is a pleasure and an honor to know you, my friend.
God bless you. Have a good night. We'll talk soon.
You got it, man. Take care of yourself. Thanks.
All right. All right, guys. That is Kevin J. Johnston here on Mike in the Night, telling us how it is. And yeah, really good what he's doing. I'm great. I'm astonished that he's gotten so far so fast by just leaving communist Canada. How far he's gotten just by leaving communist Canada. That's incredible. And that's a role model. That's something to strive for in life. That's something to... And again, it goes back to what he said. It makes perfect sense. It's just, you have to get out of communist Canada, right? He's in a Catholic country. And it's different when you're in a country like that. It's very different. Okay, we got Loco in the house. That's Mitch Madden. Mitch. I see you there, Mitch. It's Mitch Madden. And who else is here? Craig just messaged me and said, not everyone can move to South America and work online. That's, well, of course. Like, I can't move to New Zealand and start working there. pretty hard, especially a Commonwealth country. Like for me to move into the U.S., forget it. They'll deport my ass. It's so hard. I've already tried living in the U.S. It was a total nightmare. I did what they asked, and they kicked me out. You know, like I think the UK too. I go as UK. I'm a European Union member. No, I don't think UK is separated now. Yeah, so as a Portuguese, it won't matter. Yeah, it's different. It's different. Paul da Silva is saying Portugal. Portugal. That's, yeah, just go back to Madeira. I want to go to Madeira. Yeah. So D-Man saying, Mike, I will marry you to get your green card in the United States. Loco saying Panama is South America, not... I think Panama is Central America. I think it's right in the central point of America with the canal. And Mr. Canada 66 has moved to Portugal. Yeah, so good to have you guys here tonight on Mike in the Night. The voice of the Commonwealth. Guys, we have replays of Mike in the Night, guys, on BitChute, Odyssey, of course, BitChute, Rumble, and over on, what's that other one? Brighteon. So we got multiple places where Mike in the Night's getting replay value. So I appreciate you guys checking that out on other platforms and following me on BitChute and other places too. And Facebook, I don't put Mike in the Night because it's too long. And it'll probably just get taken down, so I don't want to do that. Rip Torn says, "Why does everyone want to escape?" Like, I don't want to escape. If you guys see where I live, right? And I made a video back in, what was it, 2016, late 2016 into January 2017. I said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm leaving Vancouver and I'm moving out. I'm done with the city. And you should read the comments. Oh, you're moving to a poor town. Oh, what are you leaving Vancouver for? There's so much opportunity. Moving. Now, everyone's getting the hell out of there. Because I told people, there's no future in this place. You can't compete with the money laundering. And you won't be able to afford to buy food by 2020. That was our slogan for years. Yep. Macron got bitch slapped by his wife. Our handler. Yep. Artbydano.com, artbydano.net, not your typical art. Don't forget to check out our boy Dano. All right. Let's see who else is here. Is there anybody that wants to be a first-time caller? Send me a request over on Instagram. And our Instagram is working flawlessly. Callers, the volume, everything is working flawlessly, guys. And... flawlessly. Me too. When the shit goes down, I'll be watching from my porch. Says Paulus PDS. Anyways, let's go to. What did I want to do here? I want to do something for you guys. So, guys, don't forget to, if you want to pick me up a coffee, I left the link up top. And there'll be a link in the description, guys. If you guys want to support, thank you very much. KiwiRadio.nz. Lots of love to Ralphie. Ralphie, I love you, man. KiwiRadio.nz. And you got replays of Mike in the Night on MP3 format on the go. So if you guys are on the go and you don't want to kill your data, here it is. Mike in the Night. 607, 606, 605, 604. Catch up with Mike in the Night on the road, on the go. And Facebook page, guys, don't forget to follow Mike Martins here. I'm getting so many shares and all kinds of stuff on here. I ask that you go here and share this Mike in the Night because when I put a link to the Odyssey, it doesn't get out. No one sees it. But I put up a video. It's got tons of shares, lots of views. But I can't get this one to go out because Facebook is selfish. And they're not allowing me to get this out on Facebook because they don't like competition. And MikeInTheNight.org, if you want to go to the archives of actual long episodes of Mike in the Night, go ahead there if you want to do that. And MikeMartinsTax.com. If you have tax issues, MikeMartinsTax.com. And go ahead and check that out. And Kevin J. Johnson will handle your tax issues. If you're living in Canada, let Kevin fix your problem. Payroll issues, all kinds of issues, Kevin's there. MikeMartinsTax.com. I appreciate that very much. Share that with people and get that message out because He is truly helping people, especially with the calls I'm getting at the store too, with people telling me. Lifesaver. And that's really good. All right, guys, let's see if we get another caller here on Mike of the Night. Not Dr. Mysterio. Supreme just messaged me. He just got online. I would like to talk to... I'd like to talk to Dino Bravo. I always like... kind of want to follow up with him on 5 or 6 shows ago. We're talking about writing a book. He wants me to write a book. And it's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to draw out how I want this book to be written out. He really wants me to write a book. Now I'm thinking I should write a book. And it's going to be an interesting one. It's not going to be your typical, my life and blah, blah, blah. I got an idea for this. Very interesting angle. And, is that Eduardo? Is that Eduardo? Good, we got 79 people watching. Thanks, guys. Is Eduardo available? Because Eduardo was messaging me on an account. I don't even have access to his accounts. I got an account here from Eduardo. It's not the same one that he's messaging me on, and I'm calling him on another one. That's weird. Really weird stuff. Okay, who do we got here? Maybe we call Craig? Craig has a few things to say here in the comments. Yeah, Dino Bravo. Are you watching, Dino Bravo? I know you're watching. You're always got my back. The European connection here. The European connection. Okay, I see him. He's active now. Maybe I should call him. It's Dino Bravo. I got a Rolodex here. I make the calls. Supreme Cannon was clearing up a few things for me. Yeah, dude, you call people on your show. You have open lines. You know, people call in from them, but you call the people. That's amazing. I'm like, you know, I never seen another show that does that. Well, they have a guest lined up or something. That's different. But call NWJ in Chicago. Oh, no way, Jose. Where is he? Is he here? He tried calling me at the store. I was dealing with the customer today. And no way, Jose. And then we got, what's his name here? Mitch. In the comments saying, Macron is a perfect Frenchman. Man, you guys know how much early Mike in the Nights, how much I hated it. I had so much hate for that Macron guy. They're protesting 3 years straight. Yellow vest. We don't want this prick. And they pulled the trigger on a pandemic, shut it down. And then stays in. Right? Let's see if I can get Dino Bravo to call in. It's been a couple of weeks, and maybe he's busy with family. Maybe sometimes people listen to this on their headset or an earpiece. I got a guy that works in a mill up north in one of the lumber mills, and he tells me he goes into an area because he's in camp. He goes into an area with service. And he downloads the episodes of Mike in the Night. He's got an app that downloads for him. I think he goes to kiwiradio.nz to download. He downloads the episodes of Mike in the Night, like 4, 5, 6, he says. And then goes back up to camp for 3, 4, 5 days. And he listens to everything. And he asks about... He asks about certain people on the show. How's Linny Poo doing? How's Supreme Cannon doing? How's Dr. Mysterio? Because you start getting in tune with the people on the show. And we got Dino Bravo in the wings right now. Said he's going to come on Mike in the Night. You are tuned into Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. It is 3 a.m. and something is moving. Don't forget to buy your boy a coffee.
Hey, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dino Bravo here on Mike of the Night. Thank you so much for coming here and being part of the channel. And I just wanted to update you on something.
Yes, I was listening to you about the book that you said you had some
It's
updates
growing.
on
It's growing.
ideas.
It's growing. It's growing. I got an idea.
Ah, I'm good. That's good.
The first 10 or 15 entries of the book, not chapters, entries like pages, I think I'm going to do people's reviews. So I've already gotten 4 of them in my email from 4 different people that have watched the show, that episode.
Okay.
And I've read their reviews about me or discussion. And they wrote it, some of them wrote it in a book format for me. Like, I went to visit this man who's on social media, very vocal about certain topics that seem true to him. And I went to visit him at his store in person to see what he was like. And I realized he was exactly like online. And people were coming into his store and shaking his hand and talking and sitting down like it's old Europe. They wrote me that email saying, and I donated, I gave him $20 because I don't do electronic coffees online. Like, that person wrote me that email saying it was a pleasure meeting him in his store in person. And I want to put the entries at the beginning of this book of people's feedback that have actually met me in person.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, no one knows about you. This is just another way to be discovered, and I think it could spin off into making your show take off. I really do.
I think you're right. I honestly, truly think you're
Because
wholeheartedly right.
old school sometimes is the way it goes. I mean, people want to do electronics and and social media and all this crap, and they can censor you on that. But if you get a book through there, well, how are they going to censor you? Print it out, people buy it, they can buy it. I mean, they can stop you on the Amazon can do something, or the distributors can do something. But if you find the right distributor, they're going to promote their book because they want to make money, right?
So it's very interesting because it's just a different, like, I just wish you were local or you came to see me. You'd see my situation. You'd come into my store. You see my big table there with chairs, and then some of my friends would come in and whatever. And most of us are just wise guys. We're just guys that are fighting against the system, trying to find ways to, stop the BS, right? We're kind of wise guys. So they come in, we sit down at the table, we got some soccer on the TV, okay? And then, okay, you want a coffee? We should have a coffee. And then we're talking about what they're making them do this in school. Mafangulo, what the hell, man? And so it's like old school Europeans, right? Some of the guys that come and see me are Italian too. We sit there and we talk and we shoot the shit, and if the social media police or the people of I don't know how to say it, the social justice warriors actually saw the conversations we had and talked about certain things, they'll be like, what are you talking about? Type of thing. They'll be like, holy crap, these guys are planning something big, a big takeover, because we're just old school. Drink our coffee, look through the paper, shoot the shit, talk a few sports, a horse race, and then government's fucking us. Why?
Yeah, I do the same thing with my boys here. We meet every Saturday afternoon for a couple caps and talk shit. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't like the political bullshit that some of these guys want to spew all the time. I get tired of it. It's the same shit. Like, they don't understand that blue, orange, and red are the same color. Like, I try to explain it to these guys, and they go, "You're right. You're right." Yeah, Carney's going to do the same thing that Pierre's going to do. Pierre's going to just do a different way. They're all the same team. They're all on the same team. They all play in the same team. They don't do anything different. They just disguise it. And I'm actually surprised they didn't give us a PC vote this time to make us think that we had change. But you know what I mean?
They did the same crap in Australia. They did the same bullshit in Australia, where they got this prick that really destroyed the country for the last 4 years, or the snap election or whatever they're doing. And he was against the straw man, like our guy Ozzy Cheems was saying. There's a straw man in there. They's basically put there to lose on purpose. And yeah, of course. And they're going to put the guy in there, the WEF or the World Economic Forum or the WHO, whatever those pathetic losers that
Yeah.
give themselves awards. What a bunch of pathetic losers that make up award ceremony for themselves. That is the most stupidest, pathetic thing I've ever seen in my whole life, I say. I'm telling you.
Oh, 100%. My sister was telling me that in Italy, she just lives outside Rome, and there's a lot of movement there. That they're getting tired of all the ethnic bullshit going on over there. I mean, I know you were talking about other places, but Italy's getting pretty bad
Well, the
for
president
that.
came forward and she said,
Hmm.
Islam is a mental illness. So let's no. I'm going to take that back. She says the
Yeah,
people
no,
of Islam do not conform or assimilate with
Italian
the
cultures,
Italians.
and yes,
And they have
that's
such a
right.
good opportunity to learn a good culture, food, people, dancing, music, women. Man, if I had a
Yep.
chance to go to Italy and become Italian, I'd become Italian. I'd learn the language. I'd go to hang out at pizzerias, coffee shops. I'd be, you know what I'm trying to
Yep.
say? I would be
And
in
I would say the
love.
same thing. And I would say the same thing about Portugal. I was there a couple of years ago. It was unbelievable.
Hmm.
So beautiful there.
Yeah,
The Algarve was just the best. I tell people, everybody they talk about going on a trip around, I don't know where to go. I always tell them, go to Portugal, the Algarve.
yep.
Go.
The Algarve is like our Florida. Portugal's Florida.
They call it the Waikiki of Europe,
Okay.
and it's 100%. It's 100%. The water's bath water warm. Like in August, I was there. It was unbelievable. Like the beaches are beautiful. The people are amazing. The food is amazing. Everything there. If people want to go on a vacation, and it's reasonably affordable too.
It is. Portugal
Like
is reasonably. I
very affordable. Yeah.
maybe we should take a joint vacation and we should go with a bunch of people. We should go to Madeira. I really want to go to Madeira. And
Sure.
that island,
I'd be up for that. Sure.
yeah, that island is just maybe 400 or 500 miles east of Bermuda,
Okay.
and it's 400 500 miles west of Africa, in the like right in the middle of nowhere.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's Madeira Island. It's part of Portugal too. So, um,
Yeah.
I I I,
Yeah.
I yeah, I want to go there I just want to go there because my mom's been talking about Madeira quite a bit, and said maybe she wants to get an apartment. I'm like, don't get an apartment. We'll buy a house for the whole family. Because when the
Well,
poop,
you should take her there. She's not getting any younger. You should take her while
I
she's
know,
still able to travel.
yeah,
You
I
should take her
think
there.
it's,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm gonna take care of that. I always take care of my mom, so I think it's time
100%.
that we start stretching our legs a bit and looking at options, right? And
I
potentially
agree with you.
looking at
Yeah.
yeah, because I want to
Hmm.
move back to a Catholic country, dude. I'm sorry, I'm Roman Catholic, but a lot of people, I don't know, they just. I have people that don't shop at my store because I'm Catholic. I have people like here in Canada. I have people that outright tell me to my face, "Ooh, you're Catholic? Yuck! Let's get out of here," type of thing. I just need to be in a Catholic country. I just need to be. I think I need to go back, and I want to die in a Catholic country too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I feel ghosted in Canada.
Yeah. I feel the same way. My kids don't really get it, but I just tell them like this is not normal. This is not the way I grew up, and I see all this. It's reverse prejudice against us, the white.
Then why
That's
did we
what it's
build all
been.
this shit? Why did your dad work his
Oh, my
ass
dad's
off
rolling in
to?
his grave right now. I'm
Yep.
telling you, like, busted his ass for years building this city, and for
Of Winnipeg,
what?
and my dad built a lot of Oshawa, Oakville,
Hmm.
Mississauga. My dad worked
Hmm.
on the Air Canada project for the stadium there. My dad didn't get to work on the CN Tower because that was way before we came way after that. But worked
Yeah.
on the. I think he worked on doing repairs on the Sky Dome. You know, my dad really worked the infrastructure. Really worked his butt
Oh,
off.
100%. And my dad had so many Portuguese friends that were co-workers and stuff, and they would build things together. And we drive around the city, like I told you when I first called you. You drive around the city and go, I built that, I helped build that, I helped build that. I go, what the hell didn't you help build? You know, you did everything, and then now we're frowned upon, and we have no rights compared to the ones that are coming in now. It's pathetic.
It's the most pathetic, stupid, losery thing I've ever seen. And
And that's
back,
why I still think that's sorry to interrupt you.
yeah,
That's why I still think that Europe. I know people say it's pussy, this and that. Yeah, well, you know what? When it's the dog sniffing the bone, they'll stand up for themselves. They stand up for themselves compared to the wimps in Canada. Wimps, there's so many wimps in Canada compared to European. Like, no, the Europeans will stand up for themselves. I've seen it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I know it. 100%. I don't care what anybody tells me. When it comes to the dog, dog stuff from the bone, they're gonna push back, and it's already happening in Europe. Like my sister, I've been monitoring the situation. She says it's getting worse and worse and worse, and that's why she spoke up. The president there, prime minister, because she said, she knows there's a lot of tension going on there, and it ain't good. It ain't good. They're walking into people's houses, and they're just the guy by gunpoint. They're just grabbing the TV, taking the jewelry off the people, and walking out.
Yep. And there and remember the police were saying leave your keys by your door so when someone breaks in they can steal your car.
Yeah.
So you can't make this shit up.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that'll never happen around me. So they can try, but
Yeah.
like,
But the
I'm
problem
not
is we
gonna. I'm
can't
not gonna.
defend ourselves. If someone comes into my store and beats and comes in and
Yeah.
and gives me and like say robs me or beats me up, touch wood, right, or something, I
Right.
can't. I there's no way I could defend myself. Like, if I do something and they get hurt, they'll sue me and win.
You know what a police officer told me, a friend of mine, years and years ago? He told me, you defend yourself in your house. Um, what you do is you shoot two times, once simultaneously, one after the other. First one goes between his eyes, and the second one goes into the ground. And you shoot them both very quickly at the same time, and no ballistic expert in the world will be able to determine which bullet was fired first. So that's my rule. So
I've
people
heard
want
that
to come
story
in,
from
come
someone
in.
else, and no ballistics or firearms expert could hear well enough through walls and drywall and insulation to know what kind of round was shot to. Like when you go through walls and stuff, some gun experts could hear that's a 9mm, and they hear the gun, okay, that's a 22. But through walls and barriers and insulation and concrete, it's really hard to tell what kind of round was shot to.
Yeah, that I don't know. I'm not a ballistic expert, but yeah, I'm sure you're right on that one. But what do you think about this this North American Union? You think it's going to get pushed hard?
Oh, you're talking about the Amero?
Yeah, and the union. Yeah.
Well, North American Union needs to happen, and if you go back to my video from 10 years ago, the North American Union needs to happen if the BRICS nations take off. So back 10, 15 years ago, Dilma Rousseff of Brazil announced the BRICS nations. And I made a video that day. I was like, oh my God, they're going to do something to counter the US dollar. So Dilma Rousseff said, we're going to have the BRICS. We're going to have to go independent off the US dollar, and we're going to go forward with this. Okay. So a lot of people were shocked, like, oh my God, there's going to be war coming to Brazil because, Gaddafi did it, Saddam Hussein did it, everyone went off the dollar, and they basically got chopped up, right?
Yeah,
so
that's right.
The Portuguese did it. They destroyed that empire. But for anyone to hedge against the BRICS, they're going to need a North American Union. America's currency isn't strong enough. So if even in Canada and United States join, that would be a strong enough union. Those two countries with resources and manpower, those two unions right there will be strong enough to hedge against the BRICS. If you add Mexico to the mix, you got more manpower.
That's where I was going to go with you on the Mexico. I think they need Mexico to make that stronger.
Then you got more manpower, right? Then you get more manpower, you
You
get
have
more
the
things
labor.
done. You get more things done in the country, right?
Plus, their silver resources are second to none in the world too, so that's huge.
Yeah, the Gulf has got tons of oil.
No, silver.
Oh, and Tasco.
Yeah, like the silver that Mexico has is the
Tasco.
most by far in the world. I don't know the company, but
No. Tasco is the city. Taxco. That's in the state of Guerrero. Tasco Guerrero is the silver capital of the world, basically. And I lived close to that town, in a town called Juliantla. And when I would drive down, I lived in Mexico for 2 years, so I was in Juliantla. And when I drive from Juliantla to Tasco, which is about a 13-minute drive, I would go there and have lunch on top of a rooftop patio, and I could see the church there called Santa Prisca. And I would eat and watch the church, watch people play mariachi down on the street. And man, let me tell you, you'd hear an alarm every 3 hours or every 4 hours, an alarm would go off. I look at the lady next to me and go, ¿Qué es esto? She's like, oh, yeah, that's just the alarm that goes off every 4 hours for the workers to go work at the silver mine. That it's their shift is now ended to go to the next shift.
Okay.
And it's running 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the resources down there are crazy too. They have a lot of resources. A lot of resources. They have oil too. A lot of oil they've been finding too.
And let me look that up for you. I want to show you guys what Tasco looks like. It's a very, if you want to go to Mexico rural, Santa Prisca comes up right away. Look at that.
Where is Guerrero? Is that a province?
It's a state.
A state, yeah, state. So whereabouts is that? Close to
Acapulco's there.
Acapulco. Okay.
Acapulco's a major city. The capital of Guerrero is capital of Guerrero is, I think it's Chimpancingo. I think Chimpancingo is the capital. Is it Chimpancingo? Okay. I can't remember now. But here's Santa Prisca, guys. Here's images of Santa Prisca. There it is right there. Beautiful church. I would go in this church and pray almost every other day.
The churches are amazing. I was in Guadalajara.
Mm-hmm.
They have this amazing church. I forget the name of it. It was the architecture is second to none. My goodness. Beautiful, yeah. Beautiful architecture.
And it is absolutely gorgeous down there. It's and then the town I lived in was just down the street from here. I remember these taxis driving around, these Volkswagen taxis everywhere. That's there, and I'll show you guys what Tasco looks like here. Let's see if I can get a picture of Tasco, so you guys can look at home what it looks like. So this is where I lived for a while. Here is Tasco. There it is, right there. It's a colonial city. It looks like Spain actually when you're in it, with the cobblestone streets. It's really clean.
Spanish influence.
Oh, it's great, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show you guys this. Yeah. This is where I learned my Mexican. That's where I learned how to speak Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, capital of Guerrero, I think, is Chimpancingo. Capital of G-R-O-Mex. I just want to know this now. It's going to bug me. Chimpancingo. I was right. It was Chimpancingo. Is the capital. I've been there too. I've been all over all over that state, like stormtroopers into Poland. So, yeah, but yeah, I've lived a very I've lived a good life, right? So it's time to start preparing for the kids now, because it's not about me anymore. And Dino, it hasn't been about me now for 10 years now. It's about my kids now.
Yeah, I get you. I've been there too. So, yeah, like I said, you have to look out for what's best for you guys. And if you're not happy, then why are you here? Like, really?
It's not that I'm not happy. Like, you got to come and visit me. Like, you got to come and see me.
I know, I do.
You are, right now, where you are, would take you, how far is Calgary from you? Like 11 hours drive?
Yeah, 11 hours.
Okay, from you to Calgary, spend the night in Calgary, leave at 6 in the morning, and by 6 p.m. that's 12 hours driving, stop in Calgary. I'm only 6-7 hours from Calgary, right to my door.
That's pretty close.
That's not that
that's
far.
Not far.
It's not that far.
Not that far. No.
A guy like you that's, with miles and knowledge, and that's nothing to drive that. For kids, whoa, God, it's the end of the world. But for you could do that. It's not a big deal.
No, it's not a problem.
Yeah,
I've driven a little more than that. So
yeah, so that
yeah.
You could come and see me, spend a week, a couple of days if you want, 4 days, a week, as long as you want. And
but you got paninis and mortadella sandwiches down there. That's what I want.
Buddy, you're gonna have to bring that for me. I'll send.
I gotta bring the mortadella too,
dude. I'll send $500. I'll give you $500 to buy groceries for me. We'll put most of it at the fridge in my store, because my fridge is, I just have water in my fridge and some Pepsi for people.
You can't get Italian cold cuts on that.
Oh God! If I could get Italian cold cuts, oh my God!
Well, I'll bring some then.
Dude, I'll send you $500.
I'll bring mortadella,
Italian food.
Prosciutto. You got some nice prosciutto.
We have the Costco garbage stuff in the little packaging, right?
That stuff, yeah. That's
Mickey Mouse.
Arsenic in there, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta go DeLuca's out here
Oh
and
God,
get some.
everything, dude. Bring some gnocchi, some frozen gnocchi if you can. Bring some. Yeah, bring some good olives. Bring some good. What's that cheese? What's that cheese I like so much? The balls. The
Well, oh yeah. I don't know the ball one, but I know you ever had
they're in balls.
Friolan
They're
cheese? Friolan? You ever had Friolan?
Yeah, I've had that. I love
Oh, that's good
bruschetta,
shit.
dude. I love everything, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Remember, I was raised by an Italian family. My parents worked full time to pay off the house in 4 years, and it was an
mhm.
Italian family that helped babysit for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's right.
And I ate all that food. I love the eggplant on bread.
Yeah.
The eggplant was so good with the olive oil, man, and the garlic, shredded garlic.
Yeah. But those panini buns are killer too. Like they make them fresh here. Oh my God.
And then,
The-
man, you know how much I miss the San Francisco veal sandwiches.
ah,
You know what I mean,
so,
right? You know, with the veal and the
yeah.
nice Italian bun. Sometimes you could put in a Portuguese bun if you'd like to, but the
Yeah,
Italian
Portuguese
bun,
buntus are good. Yeah.
and you put the pepper. You know the pepper and that white piece of little cheese that they put on top of the veal. I don't know what that is, but they put like a little like lamb cheese on top with the pepper, and you close it up, and then the tomato sauce comes off of the veal sandwich. Oh, oh.
We're gonna put 20 pounds on you when they come down there.
But yeah, I really miss I just miss the European expansion in Canada. It breaks my heart, Dino. It breaks
Well,
my heart.
it kills me when like I said, when I drive around the city here, I just look and I go, like you said many times before, who's going to maintain this infrastructure?
No, no one's gonna maintain that. I remember when I lived in Toronto, we'd go down to the Italian Fest. Okay, we go to Italian Fest. We eat the food.
Yep.
We spend the day there, and then we go to the CNE for Italian Day, and then I'd go to down to Oakwood Street, down the street where I lived, and go to Carabana for the Caribbean holiday thing. It was amazing. Then from Carabana, I'd go. Then a few weeks later would be Greek on the Danforth, the Greek week on the Danforth, and it was the best. Opa, food, everything. You know, then you had Portuguese feasts with processions. We had like with statues, Portuguese. They put on the street. They shut the street down. Portuguese food, chouriço, bifanish, the best, man. And yeah, it was so well cultured. Everybody just respected each other, and I don't know, man. It's like
It doesn't happen anymore down there now.
I don't know. I haven't been in Toronto in so many years now.
Oh, you don't speak to people like maybe Paul or whatever. No,
I
Paul.
don't know, man. I do follow a few groups, Portuguese groups from Toronto and Mississauga, Oakville, and in those marching bands. I do still follow some of those bands because I do have family in some of those bands. I don't know. I know California's got Portugal thing in California. They got this big thing, a big Portuguese feast there. I know in Bermuda has a big Portuguese because Bermuda was built by Portuguese laborers, right? So there's a lot of Portuguese living there. So they have a lot of Portuguese feasts. They shut down the streets and they have these big processions there. But Canada's losing God, brother.
I agree with you. And you see the results. You're seeing the results. It's really unfortunate for our kids. You know, they have no future in this city or country.
It breaks my heart, man.
It does. It breaks my heart too. I mean, you got younger kids than I do, and I see mine. Like, kid goes like, "Wait, what future do we have here?" I go, "Not much. Not much."
Well, let me ask you, what do you think of the North American Union? My idea may be right. They need to hedge against the BRICS, and a unified currency would be stronger. That's what I think. Do you think something
it's gonna help Canadians. I mean, I with the stronger dollar. I mean, worldwide. I guess looking from the world aspect, your dollar's we're gonna get a 40% jump on our dollar, right? So, I mean that's a good thing if he's true what he's saying about being dollar for dollar. I don't know how they're going to do that, but if it's dollar for dollar, yeah, it'll
they're
be
going to do
great.
just like they did the European Union and lay out the euro.
Mm-hmm.
right? But people are saying, well, Portugal's a poor country. No, because you go to Portugal, it's 60 cents or €1 for something, but you go to France, it's €3 for the same thing. So they kind of balance it out by charging wages by wages of what people make, right?
Yeah, very, very affordable in Portugal. I don't know, like it was a great place to go check out. That's why I tell people it's the most affordable place in Europe to go to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was it you saying that they had a friend that went to France or Paris and they stayed in the hotel for a week because they're afraid to go out?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
that. Like that's
It's
what I heard too.
a viewer
It's
of
scary to go out there.
Yeah, it's a viewer from Mike in the Night. He went because his wife wanted a romantic getaway in Paris and the whole 9 yards. And he's like, no, Mike was saying, he's showing footage on his thing. He's been saying, oh, Mike, who is this guy? He's not no Joe Rogan. And then they go over there, and I think, I'm not making this up, Dino. The guy went out with the girl. Him and they went out as a couple. They went to go look during the day. And a man, this black, big guy, this is how he described him, went behind his wife or fiance, wife, like common law, and started groping her body.
Geez.
And then he grabbed his wife and pulled her away from the guy and then ran together into, it wasn't a jewelry store, a pastry store where they're selling pastries, and talked to the guy at the pastry shop, said, call the police, this guy just grabbed me and fondled me. And they said, the police won't do nothing, don't even bother. It's just part of the culture here. And the guy at the pastry shop told him. Jeez. And they were waiting there for a while until the guy left, and then they left and they went back to the hotel, and that's it.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Joe Rogan was wrong.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is crazy.
But it's allowed to happen. That's what's killing me inside.
Well, that's what's happening in Canada too. In spots too. I've been hearing stories. So the young women are getting, abducted, and
Remember, Tony? I'm in a Dino. Tony, it's Tony. No, Dino. I'm in a two stoplight town. Remember that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't see so much like you guys would see in the cities, and I'm grateful for that. I'm absolutely grateful for that, for the peace. I got my window wide open here, let some air in. It's quiet. It's nothing. Nothing's going on, right? It's peaceful.
Very peaceful out there from what I see.
So,
yeah, definitely. But we should definitely talk on the phone. We have to give me a call, or I'll give you a call. I would think we missed each other, but we should try to connect and
100%.
maybe discuss some things.
Again,
yeah.
get in the car. Just say, I got to go see Mike. I got to go see this guy. I got to meet this guy. I got to meet this man in person. You know what I'm saying? The Raven, actually, he came through my town, but left me a note on my doorknob.
Oh, jeez.
Of my store. And
yeah.
There was a receipt for A&W, and I'm like, what is this, someone's joke of putting a receipt on my door saying I threw it in the garbage or on the floor and they taped it back on my door? I opened up the paper and it was his phone number. So I called him 3-4 times. I left him 3-4 messages and he's never gotten back to me. I keep getting a voicemail. I'm like, oh, okay. So he did try to reach out to me when he came through Merritt to go home, right? So.
Okay. Yeah, he hasn't been around. Everybody in the chat's been asking about him where he's at.
He does have an Odyssey account though, because he made an Odyssey account years ago. So he does have an Odyssey account. We know he's on Odyssey. So, but we haven't seen him. But he'll come around. Everyone comes around. People leave for a couple of years and come back always, and I'm always here.
No, we appreciate you for putting this on, and like I said, it's a good little get together on a Saturday night, right? So.
Do you ever listen to old episodes of Mike in the Night?
I here and there I do, yeah, actually, because I am relatively newer, I guess, compared to some of the people you've been for years. I've only been probably, I guess, going on 3 years.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's some good old stuff there to listen to. Some good old prediction shows we did. We do our annual prediction show every year and predict what you think is going to happen. And yeah, I think we have a good little layout here, and it's just a one-man army. It's just me here. And my family has a lot of patience too, so they're upstairs watching a movie and they know it's Mike in the Night. They can't make noise, you know. Well, they can make noise. I really don't care, but they have that much respect for me, you know. So
that's awesome.
So you got to thank my family for being here too, my kids and my wife.
Oh, we do. We appreciate your wife and your mom and your kids. Yeah, everybody. They're all being, they're all doing helping out with Mike in the Night, and
that's right. And you calling in helps out too.
Well, I don't like to bore people with my
no, you're not boring nobody, buddy. You're boring. Yeah, no, but you got to come. You got to hang. We got to hang out at the shop all day long, man. A friend, one of my friends or somebody I know will walk in and say, "Hey, man, you'll be sitting next to me," and I could even envision it, you sitting by me and say, "Hey, man, your friend came by," and I'm talking to someone walking in the store, and he'll be like, "Who? His name is Stu." "Who do you mean, Stu? Who? I don't know no Stu. You don't know Stu Gotts."
Stu Gotts, that's what I would say. That's what we call each other. All my buddies, we go, "Hey, Stu." So we
I
go,
guess
"Hey,
we're
Stu."
just we're just getting old, Dino, and we're not conforming to the change, and I don't know. I think we're just getting old, man, and
that's okay.
we're living in a dream.
I'll never change it. I'll never change anything.
Well, I'm not changing anything. Yes,
no, never change anything. You shouldn't change anything either. Just keep going.
Come on.
Come on. yeah. That's just it. I mean, we just do our thing, and that's it. I'm not changing for anything. So, but we should do that Portuguese trip sometime.
We have to
even the Algarve. Like, there's some really nice.
What
places
if we did
like
a Mike in the Night thing with because Dr. Mysterio wants to go to Portugal? What if we all, as a group, like a Mike in the Night group, like 7 or 13 of us, and then people from Australia and New Zealand, and let's say like the States, we could all just meet there at an airport one day, and we all manage to get a flight in around the same couple of days, and we all meet up there, type of thing. What if we did that?
That'd be cool. Yeah, like I said, the Algarve, Monte Gordo is where I stayed. That's unbelievable there.
Yeah, we could go to the Algarve. I don't mind being in Albufeira. That's fine. I don't mind being.
Albufeira, that's a little bit. I hear it's a little. I never stayed there, but it's a little bit more of a young party crowd.
Sagres.
Kind of
We'll go to Sagres.
Sagres. I don't know what that
Sagres
is.
is the state of where the Algarve is.
I was right at the Spanish Portuguese border.
Oh, okay. You were out east. You were east.
Yeah, right east. Yeah.
Way east.
Yeah. Like I jump one side, I'm in Spain. Next, I'm in Portugal. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
San Gabriel, I think it's called. San Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Very, very beautiful there.
All right, Dino. Hey, thanks for calling in. Thanks for filling some time with us. We'll see each other on the flip side. Okay.
Yes. Get in touch with me.
God bless you.
God bless.
All right, guys, that is Dino Bravo here on Mike in the Night. No, it's not. Our boy on the ground. No Way Jose wants to come on and say a few words. And, I like No Way Jose. He's a good kid. He, asks me for advice quite a bit, and I try to give. It's like me, so I get advice from Supreme Canon. So Supreme Canon's been around, and Dr. Mysterio, they've both been around on Earth longer than I have, right? They both know the ground in Canada better than me, right? And I look to those guys from time to time to help get through some tough times or figure things out, and I'm grateful to Supreme Canon and Dr. Mysterio as like the higher ups, right? I would see Supreme Canon and Dr. Mysterio being more like consigliaries, like a consigliere, right? Almost like underbosses in a way. Yeah. All right. Okay, hold on a sec. We got our boy No Way Jose. And, oh yeah, here we go. Dr. Mysterio, no, sorry, that was, God. Supreme Canon says, No Way Jose is in the chat. Yeah, I'll get him on right now, guys. You are tuned into Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth.
Hello?
No way, Jose, on Mike in the Night. Buddy, thanks for coming on, being part of the channel, liking and subscribing. How you been? I missed your call today. I'm really sorry.
No problem, Mike. I understand.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, bud. Thanks for the coffee. You bought me a coffee yesterday or the day before. Thank you for that, too. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Okay, buddy.
You're welcome.
You took a few trips here and there. You're looking around. What's going on, man?
So, do you want to know what's going on in Chicago?
Well, didn't you go to New York State, too?
I did.
What's going on in New York?
So, what I noticed there was migrants on the public transportation still selling candy.
Interesting.
I thought that with the Trump administration that ICE would have deported them all, but clearly not. Now that the weather's warmer, they've come out of wherever they were hiding, which was probably the shelters.
Okay. So, I know ICE is going hard in New York. They're shutting things down left, right, and center.
They are.
So, I guess it's starting to dwindle. Is it less? Did you see a lot of migrants, or where were you?
I'd
were you in
say
Manhattan?
less.
Were you on the lower packing district?
In Manhattan.
Okay.
I was in Manhattan.
Okay, like 41st, 44th?
Around between there.
Okay.
44th, 41st.
Yeah, that's where I go to on Broadway too, right?
That's where I was.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, what else garbage, trash, graffiti, was it all gone or was it still?
Surprisingly, Times Square actually looked clean.
See, that's what I'm trying to tell people. When I went to Union Square or whatever that was in San Francisco, it was spotless. Everywhere I went was spotless. I'm seeing the pattern across America. Something's going on.
It was clean. Times Square, even like the Brooklyn Bridge, Brooklyn itself when I was there, worshiping on Sunday.
Let me correct me if I'm wrong. You're Catholic, right?
Yeah.
You have to be. You're Latino. Well, you're of Latino descent, right? Like you're like me. We're right on. And what else did you? So it was surprisingly clean. This is weird coming out of the U.S.
It was weird.
But you still got. It was still. But you still had migrants though.
You still had them.
A lot, a couple of hundred, or
not too many.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. And what is going on in Chicago? I heard that place is getting cleaned up too. Or am I wrong?
It has been cleaned up. I don't see as many migrants in Chicago either. Just a few here and there trying to sell candy on public transportation or some streets.
Sell candy? Why is that? A thing or something, or what?
I think they're like, from my understanding, they had to sell candy like to pay like the smugglers that helped them like come into the United States.
Bingo. I actually saw that in a movie once.
That's what I saw, like according to some sources on YouTube.
I actually believe that.
In debt to the smugglers that helped them sneak over the border.
I actually totally believe that, because I remember seeing that in a movie once. And they don't make movies. They make movies to just put messages out there too. You know that, right? Like Red Dawn and all kinds of, like Soylent Green, They Live. They make these movies, Fahrenheit 120, whatever that is. It's the same. They do this to give you that message, right?
Exactly. They do.
So, no way, Jose. What's going on in Chicago now? Like, it's cleaner. Are the migrants gone by the bus stations and the police stations?
They're gone.
Wow.
By the bus stations and police stations.
Interesting. Something is happening in America, folks.
It is.
America's 100%. Getting a major overhaul, and yeah, I'm not even scared.
Because they say New York's dirty, but surprisingly, I didn't find it that dirty this time.
Yeah, well, when I was I think it was Giuliani was there when I was in New York City. I can't remember exactly was it 2002, 2003? Yeah, 2001 or 2000.
That's when he was the mayor.
Yeah, I was there. I used to go to New York. I used to go to Manhattan all the time. Spend 4 nights and come home, and then 2 weekends later, we're going back to New York. Yeah, we can't. We don't want to stay in Toronto nightclubs. We're going to New York for 4 days. Too bad. Right?
Go experience New York nightlife.
Yeah, it was good. And another nightlife I experienced, and I'm so grateful to God too, was Chicago.
Chicago nightlife is fun too.
God, house music, Chicago house. I went. Do you remember that? I'm going to mention a nightclub in Chicago. You tell me if you remember it. It's way before your time. It was. I think it even closed. It closed when you were probably a little kid. I used to go to a nightclub down there called the Power Plant.
The Power Plant in Chicago.
Have you heard it?
It might have closed down.
Yeah, it closed down years ago. It might have closed down when you were a kid. But I used to go to the Power Plant all the time.
How was it? Good?
Do you know who the head DJ was there most of the time?
Who was it?
Frankie Knuckles.
No way.
Yes way. Yes way.
That's amazing.
Yep, Frankie Knuckles. And he used to have the whistle song he used to play. He used to play The Bomb. He used to play Your Love. Frankie Knuckles used to play a lot of the great tracks, a lot of Work It to the Bone, a lot of good classic Chicago house songs. And, oh my God, Bebop Lady just said in the comments, I've been to Studio 54 in New York City back in the day, man. That was a great place. But it was full of drugs and celebrities, but it was a good experience to check out, right? But, yeah. Anyways, continue, my good friend.
Community groups are now joining an effort to prevent teen takeovers in Chicago now that it's summer.
Oh, yeah, teen takeovers. Are they still organizing that on social media to get kids out to trash? These are kids with no future. Are they, well, they call them runs, like runts. Are they doing that still or?
They're still doing that once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because the police had to warn of a possible teen takeover. But no such thing manifested like others we've seen, in which we have involved young people jumping on cars and crowding in the street downtown and other areas. Meanwhile, the city of Chicago has launched a different approach to preventing such takeovers from happening. For the first time ever, city agencies are trying to partner with community groups to be on the scenes as takeovers start.
And takeovers are a big deal because they trash public property, they trash people's cars, they trash people's homes, and they hurt a lot of people too.
They do. They assault people.
Keep going.
The community-based organization element would be new, said Michael Whitfield, Director of Violence Prevention and Community Safety for the Mayor's Office of Community Safety. We've never done it before. CBS News Chicago joined Whitfield and members of other city agencies and community groups in Streeterville, where 2 separate teen takeovers led to shootings back in March. March 9th, a 46-year-old woman and her son were caught in a teen takeover near AMC East Movie Theater when the woman, a tourist, was shot in the arm. On March 28th, a 15-year-old boy suffered a gunshot gaze wound to the leg during a teen takeover in the same area near Columbus Drive.
Now these teen takeovers are bringing weapons?
Some of them are.
What for? They're already going there to trash something, and you're gonna bring a weapon to that? Damn, that's like you could get charged or arrested for intent to commit larceny or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So if you go with a weapon, and you don't have a weapon on you, you're clear. You walk away from the teen takeover with your hands in your pocket, whistling Dixie, and the police will look at you. I don't think this one's part of it, right? But then you bring a weapon. It's like, you know what I mean?
I do. The city has tried fencing and community alerts, but the newest method is community organizations with representatives who will walk alongside those of city agencies. The community organizations are now preparing by scoping out the scenes of large gatherings. What makes this approach different is we're actually all working together, Deputy Mayor of Community Safety, Gary and Gatewood explained.
Okay.
We don't want to come down here downtown to destroy anything or cause chaos, Thomas said. We just really want to enjoy our time as young people, according to one of the teens.
Well, enjoy your time as young people. Go bike riding. Go for a walk. Go fly kites. Go play some baseball. But people joining up on the streets with nothing to lose, watch out. Because when you got nothing to lose, what do? You fight, right? So
you fight. When you dominate people with violence and they got nothing to lose, they'll fight back.
Yep, that's what movie is that from?
From Fast and Furious 5.
Yes, yeah, you got it, man. You got it, SA. Did you watch the movie though? Did you ever watch Fast and Furious?
I did.
5? Yeah,
I did watch it. One of my favorite movies.
Yeah. But I did find the power plant here. I have to go on AI to find it because it's almost impossible to find anything. So it's the I was talking about earlier about the power plant was a nightclub in Chicago's house music scene opened in 1982 by legendary DJ Frankie Knuckles after his departure from the Warehouse. Do you remember the Warehouse?
In Chicago?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, because I know you go to a lot of clubs, right? It quickly became the cornerstone of the genre's evolution, offering a more polished and soulful alternative to other clubs like the Music Box. The power plant attracted a mature, fashion-conscious crowd.
The Music Box, I do know.
Music Box, is it still open?
It's still open.
Oh, wow. I think that opened in 1984.
It did.
The power plant attracted mature fashion. So this is where I went. I went to this place. I'm looking things up now, re-looking things, because I don't think my brain is functioning 100% as I get older. So I have to kind of re-look things up from time to time, right? So
exactly.
And so what else you got for us, my friend?
Chicago leaders, so now the leaders are seeking a curfew to curb the teen takeovers.
Get out of town. They're going to impose a curfew in Illinois, in Chicago.
In Chicago?
It's got to be on the south side.
Of course.
They got to do it in the south side. There's no way the north side of Chicago will abide by a curfew. I'm sorry, man.
They will not. Not the north side. Maybe the south side, but not the north side.
Very interesting.
Absolutely, it is
pretty serious stuff here, and these. I hope they could put these teen takeovers, like, you know, a couple of wildfires here and there, and put them out, right? Because
that wouldn't be so bad.
Well, because children, families out and about minding their own business, and there's a mob of people smashing a whole part of town. What the hell, right? It's a form of civil unrest.
It is.
Anything else?
There is.
Tráelo.
Regarding the Chicago Public Schools, supporters of Chicago elected school board worry rushed Illinois budget could change Chicago public school voting rules.
Problem with the Illinois school board is that there's a lot of pensions on the hook.
There is.
The Illinois school board is completely bankrupt. You know how many pensions are on the hook there?
They are. Lots of pensions.
This is not looking good. I think let me throw a prediction. I think by 2027, I believe that Chicago will file for bankruptcy. It has to. There's just too much pensions there's just too much. I don't think the city of Chicago could afford it anymore. I think Chicago will file for bankruptcy by 2027.
That's what the mayor that's what the mayor's looking to do.
Oh, they're already talking about it.
He's already talking about it.
They're gonna have to file for bankruptcy. They have to file. They just can't. Yeah. They have to. There's no way out of this. There's just too much on the plate, and too many people are taking advantage of the system there, right?
They are taking advantage of it.
Yeah. I just don't know how some people don't, like, even living in your own city, don't even know what we're talking about. Like, this is really scary.
They don't. They have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. But just the awareness level in some people are just, I guess some people just don't give a rat's ass, eh?
They don't give a crap.
As long as they get their food in their belly and the place to sleep, I think nothing else matters, I guess.
Nothing else matters to them.
Anyways, anything else, buddy?
So that'll be it for today.
All right.
If I see anything take over, I'll record them.
Just do some videos for us. Just send it to me here on Instagram, and then I'll play it on Mike in the Night. You can even report. You don't have to show yourself. Just say, "Hey guys, it's No Way Jose reporting for Mike in the Night. I'm in New York, and we're
I can show you how clean downtown Chicago is, maybe like compared to Toronto's.
Yo, you were in Toronto not long ago either, right?
Not that long ago.
Okay, what's cleaner, Chicago or Toronto?
Chicago's downtown
is cleaner than Toronto.
At least I'm not seeing like homeless people sleep like in tents in Chicago.
They're sleeping in Toronto where it's minus 50. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, again. Yeah. All right, brother. You take care. Have a good weekend. We'll talk soon. God bless.
We'll talk soon. God bless.
All right, that is our boy, No Way Jose. He loves to participate here on Mike in the Night, and it's an absolute honor to have him on and giving us an update. He's been updating us on these teen takeovers because they're actually a pretty big deal. When a lot of youth doesn't have nothing to live for, what do? They just start ripping the place apart, right? And really good to have him on the show here. Let's see if anyone else... Okay. One more caller. Okay, all right. We got one more caller coming on tonight on Mike in the Night. Got one more caller to make sure we are doing good on Mike in the Night. We are here with you tonight. All right, guys. Guys, no one's bought me a coffee tonight. Damn. Let me check. Damn, no one's bought me a single coffee tonight. That's okay. It's okay. It's an honor to be here with you guys tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Eduardo here on Mike of the Night. Thanks for coming on, buddy. It's an honor to speak with you tonight here on the last day of May. Oh, well, we could see your face too. All right.
Yeah, people like to look at my ugly mug sometimes.
Yeah.
Kind of scare away the Antifas, eh?
It's almost like when I see your face sometimes, it's like when if I walk, I haven't been in a Tim Hortons in years, but I walk into the Tim Hortons and I see the only white guy working there. I break out in song. I say, when I see your face, it's been so long, but anyways, it's not funny. It's okay. What's going on, buddy? Any bills? You're a bill guy. I was talking to a gentleman from Osaka, Japan. They came to visit me a few weeks back, and he really likes the segment on the show when you come on because you bring up bills. You're a bills guy. Bill C this, Bill B that, Bill ba fangulo, all the bills. So kind of making sense of where they are moving things. So
You know what, Mike?
Mm.
I was in Slovenia for about 5, 6 days a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, and I was in Italy for a week. And then I get back to Pearson, and I'm waiting for my buddy to come pick me up, and it's like, shit, I was on the wrong plane. I ended up in India.
Get out
Unbelievable.
of town.
2 weeks away, and it's culture shock coming back to this shithole. Fucking crazy. In Italy and Slovenia, I got used to seeing people of my own European race. There was a few migrants here and there.
Yeah, but
they work in the kitchen.
It goes back to the last caller, Dino Bravo. It's like even Kevin when he came on, he's in a Catholic country. It's completely different when you have God in your country. It's different, Eduardo.
And the architecture is nice. It's so clean in Europe. My goodness.
Yeah,
so clean,
spotless. I know. I'm hearing like everyone's coming out and saying, you know what, Mike? Yeah, I believe San Francisco's spotless because where I'm from in Kansas City, it used to be a dump. Now it's clean too. And we just had a buddy from Chicago say Chicago's cleaner than Toronto and New York was clean.
Yeah, and then you listen to people, they're saying, oh, we're not getting replaced. Really? Me and Bubba went to Barkfest this afternoon, and I can count on two hands how many white people were there.
14.
Yeah, no, not 10 fingers.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, we've been replaced, and that's all there is to it. We have been replaced. And I think it's too late for Canada. Maybe.
Okay, if we've been replaced, understood. But then it goes back to my second part. Who the hell is going to maintain the infrastructure? These people didn't build anything. How are they going to know how to fix it when it breaks? It's going to be a big problem in this country, Eduardo.
I don't know. I think the Chinese they're pretty industrious people. Not the brightest, but they're good at re-engineering shit, so they'll probably figure it out. Now, will they do a good job? I doubt it, because I've never seen a good Chinese tradesman. They're always the ones I've run into. They've all been pretty much hacks, but it is what it is, right? You see, that's the thing about culture, right? In Europe, we got much higher standards than the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
In England pushed this out. People are saying, well, why do we have to be a Catholic nation? Well, if you look at how the growth of Catholicism took us out of serfdom and brought in private property rights.
That's right.
Innovation, competition.
Without the Templars fleeing to Portugal, and then King Denis III of Portugal rebranded the Templars of the Military Order of Christ and removed all the Muslims from Southern Europe. So
say hi, Bubba.
Hi, Bubba.
She wants a bowl.
So the Catholicism has worked really in a lot of good ways, and everyone thinks it's the hell on earth type of thing. You move to a Catholic country, you got family, you got stability, you got culture, you got good food, you got, you got family, man.
Yeah, and I was watching, spent a couple hours. I came back, I had a nasty chest cold and sinus congestion. I've been this sick since 2019. Actually spent a few days in bed, didn't take, supposed to be bear hunting. Yes, I got my bear this year, people, thank you. And I don't know, it's just weird. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Why are we electing these pieces of shit?
They're not.
Garbage.
They're being selected, dude. You know this, and I told you Carney was going to win. I told you how everything was going to play out with all these elections and selections. We had a caller call in to predict the Australian election. It's all fixed, dude. It's always the person that nobody would vote for. Like the mayor of Toronto, like no one voted for her. Same thing with the mayor of Boston, Michelle Wu. Nobody voted for her. You know what I'm saying? It's all selected, not elected.
Well, I'm suing the city of Pickering because they trespassed me back in December. So that's moving ahead. And
good.
We're going to mock this garbage. I'm not going to call them people because they're beneath people. These are communists.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I was watching The Greatest Story Never Told. It was about Hitler and World War, his rise to power, and how he fought in the First World War. And
yeah,
this guy was totally anti-communist.
Yep.
39 times he tried to not get into World War II. 39 attempts.
I told people that Poland invaded Germany twice, and Poland was going to be backed by Winston Churchill that betrayed Poland because they needed. Winston Churchill was the one that was pulling the strings and forcing countries to go to war with Germany. Right? A lot of people don't know that.
Actually, it was the Little Hats in New York City and the Israelis and the banksters that are also Little Hats.
Mm-hmm.
Or a sect of Little Hats. They're Satanists, let's face it. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's good Little Hats and there's bad Little Hats, but the worst of them are Little Hats. And they've been pushing this since for the last 150, 200 years probably.
Yeah.
And it's been a slow evolution. The Kalergi plan.
Yeah, you bring that up every show.
Little Hat. It's all part of the Communist Manifesto. Karl Marx. Related to one of the Little Hat banksters.
Yeah.
And why am I using the term Little Hat? Because I live in Canada, and if I ever want to travel to the United States, I can't criticize the Little Hats.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So yeah, I'm a bit of a coward, but I'm getting pissed off to the point where, you know what? Let's go after these assholes.
Dude, I told you, why don't you come and visit me, man? Why don't you come and visit me, man?
Why, you got communists in your town too?
Dude, you come in my 2-stoplight town. We'll just walk around, man. I'll take you. We'll walk up trails in the mountains. We'll walk just all close by, like a minute drive, and then get out of the car, stretch your legs, go by a river, check things out, look at the wildlife here. Holy crap!
I don't know. I'm thinking coming up down in September now, hunting season.
You want to come here in September?
Yeah, it's when hunting season opens.
I think if I could find one of my an Aboriginal friend that I have, you could go hunting all year with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like using people for that. I'd rather do
No, but that's what they do. They're friendly like that. They want to help people out if they want to go hunting. It's not a big deal, right? But just letting you know, it's not a big deal, right? But I have people ask me, come to my store, hey, do you hunt? I'm like, no. Well, I could take you hunting on the reserve anytime you want, or take you hunting in these, like, for specific game. Like, they'll know where the game is and where to find it, right?
Well,
Wolverines.
I don't think you're allowed to hunt wolverines. I think they're
I'm being sarcastic, dude. I don't even know if we have wolverines here, but I'm just being sarcastic. But
oh, for sure you got them in northern BC, no question about it.
Yeah.
Anyways, all the problems we're facing in society is because these communist garbage, and I'm not calling them people. I don't want to insult the real people. This communist garbage is trying to get into power. They have. They think that, if they're communists and they get in the government, they're going to have a good life. Well, I got news for you. In Cuba, government workers only make a few dollars more than everybody else. So everybody's poor in Cuba. In Cuba, I think people are starving right now. Like, it's gotten hit hard since COVID ended.
Yep.
And looks like they were moving in the right direction with being able to buy and sell homes.
Mm-hmm.
But that may have come to an end because they probably have no currency. So they're in trouble down there. You don't hear much happening in Cuba except a power outage.
I know when they introduced
they
introduced their peso 10 years ago, or they went off the U.S. dollar and introduced their own peso. And I think they're going to go back on the U.S. dollar. I've been hearing rumors that Cuba might go back on the U.S. dollar and eliminate their peso.
Well, what good is the U.S. dollar? It's just another shitty fiat currency, right?
Well, it's got more leverage than the Cuban peso. So
I don't know. It's still fiat currency. It's still worthless.
Like if someone, okay, look, Eduardo, if someone was to give you 1,000 American dollars or 1,000 Cuban pesos, what would you take?
Probably 1,000 American.
Of course. Well, there you go. That's what I mean. So
just so I can go buy gold and silver, though.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I'd rather get 1,000 American than 1,000 Cuban pesos. That's what I'm trying to say. That's why they're going to go back to the U.S. dollar. Watch.
Well, the Argentinian peso, since I got back, it's been hovering around the same rate. It hasn't gone up much compared to the American dollar. It's still around 1,200 to 1. And when I was there, it was like 1,050 to 1,100.
Wow.
So it hasn't moved that much. But hopefully prices haven't gone up. Wages have gone up in Argentina. I haven't seen that any other place in the world.
Really?
Yep. Steve, back to Europe. Would you believe I heard the cuckoo bird for the first time?
Really?
Yeah, these things are real.
Well, I know they exist, but I don't think I've ever seen one.
Well, I've never heard one call in the like outside in the mornings. They come out as soon as the sun comes up. They start calling, and it sounds just like the clocks. So they're a real thing. It's southern Germany, Austria, Italy, Switzerland, Slovenia, northern Italy. So yeah, they do exist.
Oh, I know they do. I wanted to ask. Steve is asking about Bill 63.
Guys, I've been ignoring that. Been ignoring what Mark Carney is doing just so I can figure out how we're going to attack and ridicule this garbage and some power.
Mm-hmm.
We really got to put this garbage in the trash can where it belongs. Remember when that politician got stuffed in a trash can? What country was that? Was that Italy?
I don't know. I know Iceland did something to their politicians and bankers too. Iceland did something too with them.
Yeah, they jailed them. We got to go on the offensive with this garbage. Enough is enough, people. Why do we just keep sitting back? It's time people started getting pissed off, taking action. And if you think somebody else is going to save you, not going to happen. Each and every one of us has got to play our part.
You know what the thing is, Eduardo, what the problem is? I think the problem is they keep bringing in people that won't assimilate to us or assimilate with us, and or bringing in people that outright just deliberately hate us already at birth. They already hate us. Like they bring in a lot of Chinese, and the Chinese are a very oppressed culture. And I have Chinese friends that tell me we're an oppressed culture and we're taught to hate at birth, everybody but us. And then it gets to a point in their lives where they start hating everyone in their own family. It's crazy. And then you got oppressed. Then I don't think India's too much oppressed like China is, but then they come in and they want it their way and no other way, period. Right? So they bring that stuff with them, and it's they don't want to assimilate with us. They don't want to be part of us. They want to take us over and recolonize. But they recolonize, it becomes India. The people make the country. Portugal is Portugal because the people that live in Portugal are Portuguese. Argentina is Argentina because the people that live in Argentina are Argentinian. The people that live in Mexico are Mexican. That's what makes a country. And if there's no more European expansion in Canada, it's just an idea. It's going to be Hindustan. It's going to be Pakistan. It's going to be India. It's going to be China.
Yeah, and the government's sweetening the deal for these guys. They get so much money. They get so many tax years free, no tax in business. They're getting all the perks. They're stealing all your money and giving it to them. The government is nothing but an evil corporation that is out to destroy us. Why us, you ask? Well, only Canadians will stand up to the government. You won't find the Chinese or the Indians standing up to the government. They just won't do it. Tiananmen Square, they've been conditioned. India, there have been people there, they're so poor. They come here and it's like the land of milk and honey. To a point, some of them are going back. You got Khalistan. They're going to separate. They will balkanize this country. What do you think Alberta leaving from Canada is?
Well, Alberta won't be allowed to leave Canada, period. Right?
Well,
I would love to see that. I would love to see separatism. I would love to see Alberta become an independent country or join the union with the U.S. I'm all for that. People are calling me anti-Canadian when I'm saying they're not allowed to. What do you think this is? The Crown isn't going to allow Alberta to just like the South wanted to secede from the North. The South, there was nothing about freeing slaves. The South said, we don't want to pay taxes to the Crown of England. We don't want to be part of the North. So they seceded. And then what? The Civil War broke out. And it's all about freeing the slaves. My ass. It was about the Crown.
Yeah, Crown taxation, and they wanted the little hats in New York wanted to control most of the trade.
Right.
That was the biggest thing, was economics. So economically, Alberta's getting screwed over by the rest of Canada. I get it.
That's correct, sir. You're not wrong with that, but Alberta will not be allowed to. The Crown won't allow it. They'll start proxy wars. They'll start all kinds of stuff. They'll start sabotaging rail yards. They'll start sabotaging warehouses. They'll start blowing stuff up. It'll be an absolute nightmare. Kind of like a
Mike. They're doing that now. Look at the carnage on the roads.
I understand, but I'm saying
you can't get anything out of a factory. It's all screwed up. we've lost most of our manufacturing in Canada. A lot of it's not going to come back because look at the labor force we've got now. You got people with an IQ that are borderline retarded. That's the workforce you're bringing in this country. Our GDP per capita has gone down 3% in the last 5 years. These are all good things? No. This is our government that's done this.
No,
It
I
taxes
understand.
shit
I'm
out
all
of us.
for Alberta secession. I'm for it. But the problem is, will they be allowed to secede, right?
The little hat's brainwashed into not getting married and to not having families.
Yeah, that's when they created that thing in the States, the family, what's it called? Planned Parenthood. We talked about this on Mike in the Night hundreds of times. Planned Parenthood would take families into an office and say, this is how much money you make. This is how much money you deduct. This is how much money it will cost to raise a child. Do you have that money? No. Get an abortion. But go ahead and buy an Escalade tomorrow. Go buy an Escalade. But don't have a child. And
But
that's what Planned Parenthood's been about.
Yeah, in Hungary, they give you tax breaks for every kid you get, and I think they'll get first kid is a free car, second kid, it's up to the point where you can almost get a house almost for free. Your taxes are slashed when you're having babies. They're doing it right in Hungary.
Yeah,
So,
I know
yeah,
Portugal announced an incentive last week for more children too, from the Portuguese proper. And I think they're a big initiative for Portuguese too. I think I got to look into it, but it was announced last week. So that would be good too.
So Hungary's setting the pace, looks like, for the rest of Europe.
Well,
Yeah,
every
and-
country's got their little things going, right? Like different angles they're approaching it from, right? Where Poland has been on right 100% correct since day one. Poland hasn't budged. Poland is solid gold. It hasn't budged.
Yeah, this multiculturalism, this is all bullshit. This is, again, Communist Manifesto, communist shit. This is the shit that Hitler was fighting in the Second World War. This shit is going on. You got little hat funded NGOs that are pushing this narrative. They push it into the schools. You got Canadian Anti-Hate Network, guys like Bernie Farber and that garbage that pushes this shit because they know if they can control the masses and destroy the European influence and England, Scotland, UK, that's also part of Europe, guys. Greater Europe. So this was a European-based Christian country.
Well, Canada was a British expansion and Scottish expansion and French expansion, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? And obviously New England, United States, that was all colonies at the time, British colonies, and then you go down into Mexico, you start getting into Spanish colonies. And then when you get down to South America, it's all Portuguese colonies, right? So all the European nations had a piece of the world, right? One time or another, right?
Yeah, and white people used to be, what, 49% of the world's population before the First World War. Why do you think the white nations have to go to war with each other?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you get it? Anyways, guys, we don't have to put up with this shit. Each and every one of us has got to get mad. Blame the garbage that's done this to us, which is the government. And if you work for the government, you're pretty much guilty because you're reinforcing this shit. But I know you got to pay your mortgage. Nice, easy, cushy job, eh? Screw you. I don't care if you're a government worker. You should have no right to vote. Who the hell gets to vote for their boss? Unless you live in a communist country.
Well,
so
here's the deal. I told everyone that Carney's going to win the public sector vote and the Chinese vote. I told everybody. 6 million Chinese in Canada. Trust me. That's gonna tip the scales.
And it's going to get worse to the tune of what, another million and a quarter people per year. It's coming. Yeah. So this garbage was voted in. Let's get rid of the garbage. Let's clean out Canada. You know, we had a real opportunity when the convoy came to Canada, to Ottawa. We had a chance. We could have pulled the trigger. We could have just trashed those buildings. There was, what, 3-4 million people there over a couple weeks, but we wanted to keep it non-violent, and that was a mistake because only violence gets the job done when you get right down to it. And one day we're going to have to get violent, I'm afraid. Or we can ridicule this garbage, mock them, call them out for the garbage that they are, maybe they'll just curl up and hide under a rock. And let's take their vote away. If you work for the government, you have no right to vote, as far as I'm concerned. That's
I told everyone Carney's going to win via public sector vote. No one listened to me. They were calling me anti-Canadian.
Anti-Canadian. You don't want. Boy, now you got me going.
A lot of people call me anti. People in my town were boycotting my store because they stated that I was anti-Canadian, and I'm pro. I'm pro. What is it? What did they say? Not communist. A socialist retard or something. They called me.
Old stock Canadian. Look, they can throw all these names at you.
No, young guys, young, not old stock Canadians. The 25, 30-year-olds coming in and giving me a hard time. Said it's telling me I should be locked up for spreading misinformation.
When have you ever spread misinformation?
Well, I could have been wrong about something, but I'm not lying to anybody. I could have been wrong about a thing or two in my life, right? But I'm not purposely, like, if I'm wrong about something, I usually retract it and apologize to you guys when I'm wrong.
Okay, everyone listening?
Hmm.
The truth is a revolutionary act when you're living under tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it again. Speaking the truth is a revolutionary act when you live under tyranny.
Yeah.
Think about that. Who can't you criticize? Who's shadow banning us? Freedom of speech, but freedom of reach is gone. You've got all these people that are getting locked up. In the UK, you can get 2.5 years for a Facebook post that they don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the basis of European freedom. Not even close. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Somebody in the comments is saying, move to Gaza so much if you and stop bitching if you hate Canada. Move. We don't hate Canada. We hate what Canada's become.
Bingo. Where should I move to?
Gaza.
Why would I move to Gaza?
I don't know. I'm not.
I'd sooner move to a former Soviet country called Georgia. Taxes are way lower. Traffic's not the best.
A lot of good-looking women out that way.
Environmentally, it's not the best, but it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's where wine was. Apparently, they invented wine in Georgia.
Really? I thought the Portuguese did in not the Portuguese, the Greeks. Sorry, the Greeks invented wine, like way back.
This is a claim they're making. Don't know if it's true or not.
Oh, it's a claim they're making. Yeah, I think it was the Greeks, and then it was the it was Mesopotamia. The Babylon had wine way back.
Well, Georgia's not far from these places either, eh?
Yeah, okay.
Greece is only a few hundred kilometers, maybe 300-400 kilometers west.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting world we're living in. But taxes are really low there. They don't have much public debt. There's a big push for Georgia to join the EU. I think that's a huge mistake, and I bet you there's communists.
Oh God!
Behind that,
EU,
that are pushing
falls
that.
apart, man.
The EU started. Oh yeah, it's going to be a economic union. Now they dictate
all they did to Portugal was you can't fish anymore. You've been fishing for 2,000 years. You can't fish no more. You can't do cheese no more because France is doing that. You can't fish because Spain's going to take your water. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't make cars anymore. You can't do nothing in Portugal because other countries have those contracts. You just sit there and get poor or lose your skill. What the hell?
Well, look at all the skills we've lost in Canada since we lost manufacturing.
Yep.
This used to be the golden horseshoe, guys.
We used to.
Yeah, Ontario used to be more than half of the Canadian GDP was right here.
Yeah, all along Hamilton, steel mills in Hamilton. You had the coal and the fertilizer plants in Oakville. You had you had a lot of things in Canada. Had a lot of things. It had the big had 4, 5, 6 big manufacturing plants for automotive. Lots of car manufacturing. Canada had a lot going on for itself.
We used to have 2 steel mills in Hamilton. Don't forget that.
Yeah, two big ones too. They were the size of a city, bro. Like the size of a small city. The steel
and now
mills.
One of them is owned by a Indian company.
Oh,
ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, our government did this to us, guys. They're the ones we got to blame. It was the communists that got into our government. It started with Maurice Strong. Actually, some people say it even goes back to 1950s. I haven't looked that far back in Canadian politics to verify that. But you know what? Wouldn't surprise me. And these greedy, murderous communists are coming here. And you think, oh, don't say that. They're not murderous communists. Yeah? Well, tell me what MAID is all about. Medical assistance in dying.
We made a prediction 9 years ago saying one in 5 or 1 in 10 Canadians will be euthanized by 2025. So we were wrong about that. But then someone brought something up at my store. I said, "Were you wrong about that, Mike? Or you didn't factor in the vaccine and the boosters, because that's another way of us being euthanized."
Oh, here's another thing I couldn't find in Slovenia. 30, 40 years ago, you can find all the natural products in the drugstores. Walk in, you can get propolis, you can get mullein leaf, you can get all the good stuff, natural medicines.
Yeah, you could get what was it? The poppy seeds, all kinds of stuff.
You cannot even get apricot seeds in Slovenia right now. You cannot buy them. It's been banned.
What?
Well, it's one of the cures of cancer, B17.
Apricot seeds, man. You chew that crap. You blend that stuff up and add some milk, man. That thing will. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Apricot seeds.
Yeah, it's banned in Slovenia. Yeah, Italy. I didn't see that. I didn't see any migrant problems really.
Really?
Yeah, I seen the dark skinned people working in the back rooms. You know, the cooks, the bus boys. All the truckers are actually white skinned people. I could see their arms hanging out the windows. So I didn't see any wearing turbans. Not a one. The whole 2 weeks I was there. And they'd stay in the right lane, and they only go into the center lane on the highways to pass, to get into the right lane if someone's going really slow. Left lane, always nothing but cars. And the odd asshole that's got a cube van, but he'll still be doing a little bit over the speed limit. So it's 130k an hour. Okay. Beautiful, smooth roads, Mike.
Oh, I know.
Oh, my God. The roads in northern Italy and Slovenia, awesome. None of these potholes, none of this garbage like we got here in Canada. And we think we live in the first world? Not even close, man.
Not even close.
You've been lied to, again, by your communist, murderous politicians, and they're paid for propaganda of the mainstream media. Guys, find your family, find your folk, get active, do something. Let's mock the shit out of these guys. Let's take our country back in 2026. We can do it. We got the numbers. They don't.
Yeah.
I'll leave you on that note. Mike, any questions in the chat?
No, everything looks like it's... I'm going into my third hour, so I'm starting to fall asleep here. But thank you. What time is it there where you are?
Say again?
What time is it where you are?
Oh, it's 7 minutes after 12.
Yeah, Mike in the night. Mike in the morning. All right, brother. God bless you.
Hang on. Price of gas?
Yeah.
I was paying between 158 and 1.60 euros per liter for diesel. In Slovenia, it was 1.45 euros per liter.
But you're not driving far in those places because everything's close by.
Yeah, but still it hurts because for me to buy a euro,
to
buy 4,000 euros cost me $6,400.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it hurt.
Okay,
it hurt at the gas pump. All right, later, guys.
Good night, Eduardo.
Ciao.
All right, that is Eduardo here on Mike in the Night. Guys, I'm tired, man. I'm exhausted. I don't know what it is, but I got really tired halfway through Eduardo's discussion. And guys, don't forget to tune in next week. Everything should be good next week for episode 609 of Mike in the Night. Don't forget to share this. We have a really good group here. We have such a good following here, and you could catch the replay. You can catch the replay, guys, for Mike in the Night on BitChute if you choose, Brighteon, Rumble, and you could pick up the replay on here on Odyssey. So, if you want to join us live and you're listening to this on replay, join us here on Odyssey, 6 p.m. Pacific, Los Angeles, Tijuana time, and we'll be here for Mike in the Night. And if there's changes, join our email list. MikeMartins1980 Just email me and say, hey, Mike, you don't have to tell me who you are if you don't want to. Just say, I'd like to join your list. No problem. God bless you. I'll add you to my list. And and then we'll email you once a week when we go live, right? So this way you don't miss out on your favorite episodes of Mike in the Night. All right, guys. Let's see if anyone bought me a coffee tonight. Damn, I didn't get a single coffee. That's okay. That's okay. Things are tight. I know. All right, let's go to my buddy PDS saying that gas in Portugal is $1.70 in euros. Yeah, that's like $3 Canadian a liter. Yeah, but remember, Paul, you don't have to drive far in Portugal to get to places. Everything's so close by. You're in Setúbal, you go to Lisbon. You could go to. You could drive on a full tank of gas. You could drive up to Porto, or if your car is good on gas, you could go from Lisbon to Porto on one tank of gas, right? So you could get around. Yeah. Oh, don't forget my dad's glasses right here. My dad's glasses. Let's put these on. Send off music here on Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Let's get some send off music. Oh, yeah. Some European music for you guys. Good night, Rip Torn. Good night, PDS. Good night, Loco. That's Mitch Madden. Mitch. Sandy. Mr. Canada 66. Good night, what? God bless you, everyone. God bless you, Steve Slide. Sandy, thank you. Want you waiting. Come on over. Just come on over. Woo! It's Mike in the Night. Mike Martin signing off for episode 608 of Mike in the Night. Take care, and if you can't take care, stay safe. I have spoken.